I'll give them memories. Everybody worship me. 100 degrees, the closer you get to the peak. We on a winning streak. Game time, follow me. 18. Major league on the main screen. 18. We come alive on the 19. We the 18.
After completing a 3-game sweep against the Kansas City Royals, the Yankees are heading to the Sunshine State to play baseball at a familiar ballpark. The Yankees spring training home looks a little different for the 2025 season. Tonight, the New York Yankees will face the Tampa Bay Rays as a road team to kick off the 4-game set at George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Florida. Hey, everybody, it's great to have you with us on Prime tonight. Bob Lorenz and John Flaherty, 1-3. Yanks coming off that sweep flash, so feeling good, trying to ride that wave. And you know, in basketball, they have home and away series. This is kind of a home and away. It's their spring training home, but they're the away team.
Yeah, it's going to be a little different tonight in Tampa, Steinbrenner Field. Obviously, the Yankees spring training home. They're going to be the visiting club. The Rays will be the home club. But when you think about the Yankees off to a start where they're 4 games over 500, but it's been a different schedule. They played a lot of National League teams. You had the Brewers, the Diamondbacks, the Pirates. But now you get into the American League East and you get into the American League East grind. We know that the Rays have been a division rival for years. We know that the Rays are built around pitching. They also have some really good young hitters. So for the first time this year, the Yankees play in the division. And you just want to measure up, Bob. Where do we stand against the Rays? We know they're a great organization. We know they're going to be there going down the stretch. And it's going to look different playing at Steinbrenner Field.
No doubt. And this is happening because due to the damage Tropicana Field suffered from Hurricane Milton, the Rays are playing their home games at George M. Steinbrenner Field this year, where the Yankees hold spring training. 4 days before opening day, over 130 people worked around the clock to replace and cover over 3,000 pieces of signage, as well as upgrading the broadcasting cables and wireless internet. The signs down the first and third baselines that once spelled Yankees are now Rays. And behind the scoreboard in left center, it says Raise Up, with a thank you to the New York Yankees. And with that in mind, let's get it down to Steinbrenner Field, where Meredith Marakovitz is standing by with the clubhouse report. And the obvious first question is, what are the Yankees saying about being home, so to speak, but walking into the road clubhouse?
Bob, you know what? It is a little bit weird. When you walk in here, you think you're going to a spring training game, but that certainly is not the case. These games matter. And even when you say it, George M. Steinbrenner Field, home of the Rays, it just doesn't sound right. Now, during spring training, we took you on a tour of the Yankees' new clubhouse, and they had that huge NY up top on the ceiling of that clubhouse. You were wondering how they were going to cover it. They kind of put a tarp over it with some Rays signals on it and did that. They also have a mannequin in their clubhouse that's dressed every day, telling the guys exactly what uniform they're supposed to be wearing. And Aaron Boone actually left a note for Rays manager Kevin Cash, and he also gave him a bottle of 1942 tequila as a little bit of a housewarming gift for when he got here to Steinbrenner Field, just to let him know that he is welcome and that it is his house now and to enjoy it. And speaking to some of those Rays players, they are enjoying the facilities. We know the upgrades that the Yankees did this offseason to make sure that it is one of the premier facilities throughout Florida, and now the Rays are getting to enjoy that. Now, earlier I asked Aaron Boone just how weird it was walking into that visitors clubhouse earlier today.
Quite odd, honestly. You're kind of I bumped into Kevin Cash walking in. I bumped into some Rays players, and I don't know if surreal's the right word, but it's definitely a little bit odd. And then I'm sure, once the game starts and looking around the stadium and it's real. It's a real game. But we'll be ready to go.
You guys obviously spend a lot of time here during spring training. Just how different do you think this environment is going to be this evening?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Have been. I don't know what to expect. I don't know how it's going to be, but it's definitely something I'm kind of the last week, like, oh, I'm looking forward to going down there and seeing what it's like.
And Flash and Bob, this may be home of the Rays, but when I just look up into the crowd right now, all Yankees fans, a lot of Yankees jerseys in this crowd, so there should certainly be loud cheering for the Yankees this evening. And probably over the 4 games, you're going to see a lot of that. Actually, people coming down from New York for the weekend, enjoying the nice weather, taking in some Yankees baseball here. They are hoping in this one that they get to see an Aaron Judge home run. And Aaron Judge is just off to a torrid start in the beginning of the season. Over the first 18 games, he has 7 home runs. He's batting over 400, and he is certainly with some exclusive company. Alex Rodriguez and Mickey Mantle, the only other 2 players in Yankee history to bat 400 or better with 7 or more home runs through the first 18 games of the season. Mantle won the Triple Crown and the MVP that year, while Alex Rodriguez won the MVP. Aaron Judge already has 2 to his name, and Aaron Boone was asked if anything ever impresses him with Aaron Judge anymore.
I don't know if it amazes me because I've known him now for a long time. I've known him for 8 years now, so I know that's who he is. And I know, he goes into the offseason knowing I can get a little bit better in certain areas. So, and that's, I think a trait most great players have. But he certainly has it and is always working to get a little bit better. You can always move the needle a little bit in every area. I think experience, what to look for, little mechanical adjustments that maybe make you a little bit better. Just constantly trying to look for little edges around the corner. I also think the one thing he's really good at and understands is how difficult a game it is too, even for him, he's still, I guess he's not making more outs than not now. He's over 500 on base, but generally speaking, you're still going back to the dugout more than you're having success, so, and part of being a big leaguer and being a really good one is you got to deal with that. You got to handle that, and the grind of it every single day. That's another important ingredient that being a big league ball player you got to have, and he's always had that.
Can you compare him with anybody that you've run across in your career? The person, the athlete, the producer, anybody that's like him?
I don't know. I mean, he's the total package. So, he's becoming an all-time great player. That's what we're in the middle of witnessing.
And Rays manager Kevin Cash is kind of on the same page with Aaron Boone on this one. When I asked him about Aaron Judge, he said he feels like he's been watching him do this for a decade. Nothing surprises him about Aaron Judge, certainly a bat in the lineup that they are going to be extremely careful with. He said we always know when Aaron Judge is coming up in that lineup. Aaron Judge is in the lineup today. He'll play right field. It's going to be Cody Bellinger in center field, Jason Dominguez in left field, Ben Rice back to DHing. It's going to be J.C. Escarra behind the plate. Just a day off for Austin Wells during this stretch of 13 in a row. Now, J.C. Escarra has actually caught tonight's starting pitcher Will Warren quite a bit. He caught him in the minors at AAA, and he said while the stuff looks very much the same, the way he uses it is different. It's more confidence in some of his pitches, more realizing when he should use it in certain situations. And when he's out there throwing tonight, he's going to see a familiar face on the other side. Guys, take a look at this. Will Warren grew up in Mississippi, as did Jake Mangum for the Tampa Bay Rays. He is batting 7th and playing right field. He was 4 years older, but they were 2015 state champions at Jackson Prep. Jake was asked about his impression of Will Warren in high school, and he said the first thing he remembered is he was a small guy. He was maybe 140 pounds soaking wet, although he had a growth spurt all of a sudden, and after that, he just never looked back, and then he started to dominate a little bit, had nothing but kind words to say about about Will Warren. And as we know, Will Warren's coming off his first major league win. His parents decided to take a last-minute trip to New York, actually got to catch that. And guys, if you remember the weather for that one, it was absolutely freezing. They braved the elements to watch their son pick up his first major league win. He won't have to worry about weather tonight as far as cool weather, but it is hot here in Florida. You can tell that it's definitely going to be maybe a little difficult to grip the ball because of the sweat, because of how humid and how hot it is in Florida. But talking to guys in that clubhouse, they will take it any day of the week compared to the elements that they have been playing with in the I should say, in the first 2 weeks of the season. And Bob, before I send it back to you, I have to ask Flash, how excited are you that the catwalks are no longer in play when the Yankees play the Rays here in Florida?
I can honestly say, Meredith, I did not think about that, but that is a very good point from you. The catwalks will not be a factor tonight.
Great stuff, Meredith.
No doubt, and I'm sure a lot of people are excited about that.
Well, we'll see you in just a bit with Michael Kay and Todd Frazier. Thanks, Meredith. Appreciate it. Time for our first break on the Yankees pregame. The Bombers completed a 3-game sweep against the Royals thanks to key players coming through in clutch spots. We discuss the Yankees offense as they prepare to face the Rays. That's coming up next on Prime. Flying spaceships and flying baseballs off the bat of Jason Dominguez, who's batting .400 over his last 5 games. If we take a look at the Yankees starting lineup tonight, he is batting .8, playing left field. Aaron Judge 3 for 3 last night as the DH. As Meredith mentioned, he's back in right field. And Ben Rice against right-handed pitching this season, .333, 3 homers, 4 runs batted in, and a .1203 OPS. Good to have you back in the absence of Giancarlo Stanton. It's that next man up philosophy. Ben Rice has been that and more so far. Yeah, I look at the top of the lineup with Paul Goldschmidt and Ben Rice, and both of these guys have done the job early on. Goldschmidt, the veteran, gives you a big league at bat, it seems like, every night, 4 times a night. And what does that mean, a big league at bat? It means controlling the strike zone, using the whole field. He's got a high batting average, only the 1 home run. That's going to change if he keeps the approach that he has right now. And then you got the young kid, Ben Rice, sitting behind him, who has taken advantage of this opportunity that has presented itself to him. Had a great spring training, hitting the ball a whole lot harder than he did last year, opening up his stance just a little bit, getting to the baseball a little bit easier. Those guys at the top of the lineup, the 1-2 to set up Aaron Judge, have been doing the job all year long. Judge been hitting the ball hard as well. And it's interesting. I liked what Aaron Boone said. He was MVP last year, Judge, and that was after a rough April. And it's like Judge saying, okay, I'm an MVP 2 times, but how can I be even better? So he went into the season and cleaned up what kind of plagued him last year, right? Yeah, Bob, you can talk about hitters and their mechanics, and, you see the numbers on Aaron, how he started off last year compared to this year. But I think the difference for a superstar player like Aaron Judge is the mental part of this game. And Aaron Boone talked about that, the grind of going through 162 games and being able to stay even-keeled. But I think Aaron has told us this year, trying to stay in the present more than he had in the past. And what does that mean? We had a graphic before with Alex Rodriguez having one of the greatest starts ever in the same category with Aaron Judge. And A-Rod always used to say, I want to go pitch to pitch during every at-bat. It's not at-bat to at-bat. If I had to hit my first at-bat, I was going to have a good game. If I struck out, it might not be a great game. The great ones are able to let it go and look forward to the pitch-by-pitch battle. I think that's what Aaron Judge has done this year. You can talk about the physical ability, you can talk about the swing, the plate discipline, all of those things, but I think he's taken his mental game to another level. Yeah, no doubt about that. Now, they're facing Taj Bradley tonight. Let's take a look at Bradley's arsenal. Bradley's 4-seam averages nearly 97 miles per hour. In that same time it takes the fastball to reach the plate, the curveball still has more than 8 feet left to travel, displaying excellent velocity differential. Let's not dismiss the splitter. That is his put-away pitch, averaging just over 92 miles per hour. And a splitter always, Flash, keep that thing down in the zone, tough to hit.
Yeah, the pitch that jumps out to me on that graphic is pretty cool is the four-seam fastball at about 97 miles an hour. And that's always going to get your attention as a hitter because you have to respect it and be right on time for that. What that graphic just showed us is that the curveball and the change of speeds is going to get you out front. But you're right, Bob. The split-finger fastball is really the bread and butter pitch for Bradley. And I think you throw on top of this a young kid who took his lumps early in his career is starting to figure it out now and is starting to gain confidence that he could be the #1 guy on this pitching staff. And that's saying a lot because the Rays develop top-notch starting pitchers. But Bradley is right up there with his stuff and the way he's going out and competing this year.
Well, time to step aside on the Yankees pregame. Will Warren collected his first career win in the big leagues last Saturday, and he looks to add another win tonight against the Rays. We discuss Warren next on Prime.
And Will Warren is the man that they will face.
This is a great shot to show that he's ready to be part of this rotation.
That's a good start, Paul.
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3 with 2 strikeouts. Will Warren strong in the first. Swing and a miss. Will Warren is pumped up.
You've got to be extremely fired up if you're Aaron Boone.
Got him. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout. And Warren has retired 8 in a row. Strike 3.
Showed it to him, Mike. We punched him out with it.
And congratulations to Will Warren, his first big league win.
Will Warren taking the mound for the Yanks tonight. Here is the Rays lineup that he will face. And batting cleanup, Jonathan Aranda off to a nice start this season. The first baseman with 7 doubles, 3 homers, and 11 runs batted in 16 games. And Meredith mentioned Jake Mangum, the former high school teammate of Will Warren. He is out in right field. He's off to a good start, too, hitting .327. As for Warren, bolstered in confidence by that first major league win flash. And when you watch him every start so far, really aggressive and confident in this stuff.
Yeah, and people say that the wins don't matter a whole lot. They matter for a starting pitcher, and they matter for a young starting pitcher like Will Warren. You see the numbers against the sweeper. It's a big-time swing and miss pitch for him. I'm going to be watching the challenge of facing 7 left-handed hitters in this lineup for Will Warren. There's a sweeper that he can get the swings and misses, but I think the changeup is a pitch he doesn't throw a ton, Bob, but I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a Skara behind the plate calling that changeup a little bit more tonight to get those swings and misses on that sweeper. So if you're thinking sinker, changeup away to a lefty, and then you finally come back when you need a big swing and a miss with the sweeper, that would be the recipe that I would be looking for against 7 lefties in this lineup for the Rays.
Yeah, and Skara's been good so far with Fried and Carrasco, so we'll see how he pairs with Warren tonight. Got to take one last break on the Yankees pregame on Prime. We'll be back with some final thoughts as we approach first pitch between the Yanks and Rays at George M. Steinbrenner Field. Keep it right here. Yankees kicking off a 7-game road trip tonight. The next 4 games in Tampa, sunny and mid-80s, and then they're off to Cleveland. And you see the conditions far different. So once again, our pal John Flaherty grabbing his overcoat for that road series.
No, I'll sign up for Cleveland. 66, 59 on Tuesday. A lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Bone chilling when you were in Detroit. There's no doubt about that. Bone chilling. Speaking of that, how about the Royals trying to face the Yankees bullpen in that 3-game sweep? They went 9 2/3 innings, covered that with no runs allowed.
Yeah, Bob, and I look at the Yankee bullpen in totality, like all the way through. You have arms that just seem to mix and match. Fernando Cruz working 2 innings, picking up his first big league save, such an emotional pitcher. And then the way the Yankees can mix and match with Mark Leiter from the right side. You got Tim Hill from the left side. Luke Weaver doing his thing. Devin Williams seems to be back on track. So if you're Aaron Boone and you're looking in matchups in this game, you got Ryan Yarbrough, who could be a long guy in X-ray. There are just so many, opportunities for Aaron Boone to match up. And you got to give the Yankee front office credit. Year in and year out, they develop quality bullpens.
All right, we're about to find out what happens as we hand it off to Michael Kay, Todd Frazier, and Meredith Marakovitz. They've got the game on Prime. Flash and I will see you along with Meredith on our post-game coverage on Yes immediately after. Game 1 of 4, Yanks, Rays, next on Prime.
It's been a great week for the Yankees. The bats broke out. Another home run. 3 in the inning. Yankees pouring it on. Clark Schmidt returned and pitched very well. Swing and a miss. And the Bombers completed the sweep of the Kansas City Royals. Bellinger, he dives and makes the play. a sparkler, and the Yankees sweep the Royals. Now they go from the South Bronx to the Bronx South. After Tropicana Field sustained major damage from Hurricane Milton, the Tampa Bay Rays have taken over Steinbrenner Field, and for the first time, the Yankees will be visitors in their own ballpark. But the hoopla surrounding the stadium is just a subplot for the real story, a 4-game series with the division rival Rays. Can the Bombers keep the winning streak alive as they begin this set with Tampa? Stick around and find out next on Prime. Well, the Yankees were just here for spring training, but they're back for a regular season game, and they are wearing the road grays. On the mound for the Yankees will be the youngster Will Warren as the Yankees start a 7-game road trip. And it is time for baseball as Prime presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in the first of 4 from George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Florida. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball. Along with Todd Frazier, I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees just swept the Royals at Yankee Stadium, and yesterday, as it's been for most of the season and the last couple of seasons, it's all about Aaron Judge.
It always is, and as we know, when Aaron Judge goes, the Yankees win. This guy can hit a homer anytime he needs to, but we're seeing him hitting line drives and taking his base hits. He's looking at pitches, and he's driving them the other way, and he is not afraid to take his doubles. He's the straw that stirs the drink, and again, they are undefeated when he hits home runs, so it's a good thing those Yankees are rolling.
And that broke a 3-3 tie, gave the Yankees a 4-3 lead. They held on to get the win against the Royals. So in the last 8 games, hitting .538, 3 extra base hits, on base percentage, that's otherworldly, .647, OPS of 1.378. Well, the Yankees have their veteran, they have their captain. The Rays, they have a youngster who is just taking the baseball world by fire, and that's Junior Caminero.
Talk about youngster, 21 years old, playing parts of 3 years, getting up to the big leagues. This guy can absolutely mash the ball. He swings hard. When he gets a hold of it, all of a sudden the ball will go. Him, Jonathan Aranda, 2 guys you got to watch for. Ball's going to be flying today, as we've seen earlier in the year.
And he's got some flair to him as well, some swag, they like to say. He certainly enjoys his home runs for sure. So the Rays against the Yankees, first to 4. Caminero in 17 games this year, .274. Now in his last 9 games, he has all 4 of his home runs, 9 ribbies, an OPS of .813. All right, when we come back, we're moving closer to baseball. Lineups, first pitch, baseball. It's the Yankees against the Rays, live right here on Prime. We are ready for baseball at Steinbrenner Field. Bradley's ready, Goldschmidt's ready. Let's do it. Here in Tampa, first pitch swung on and popped up. It's the right side. Mangum toward the line, and he runs out of room. Let's take a look at the entire Yankee lineup. Goldschmidt's leading off, the DH Ben Ryston, Aaron Judge in right field. Middle third, it's Bellinger, Volpe, and Chisholm. And the bottom third, J.C. Escarra will catch. Jason Dominguez in left. And Oswald Cabrera is the third baseman. He'll bat ninth with the starting pitcher, Will Warren, making his first career start against Tampa Bay. Still plenty of daylight here at Steinbrenner Field. The lights are on. The shadows covering most of the field. Some sunlight out and right. And a full house of over 10,000 is expected in the Rays' temporary home. Count 1 and 2.
Tell you what, change of scenery from New York. How about that? The weather difference. Absolutely incredible.
It's 84 degrees on first pitch, and it was pretty cold at the stadium yesterday. Swing, and a ground to third. Caminero cannot handle, and Goldschmidt will reach. They'll probably give him a hit. Let's take a deeper look at Taj Bradley, the starter for the Rays. 2-0 with a 3.71 ERA. 17 innings, 21 strikeouts, 6 walks. We'll take a look at the scouting report.
Yeah, definitely. He's a strikeout machine, especially against the Yankees. 12 Ks in 2 games for him. Homerless streak. He hasn't given up a homer yet to a Yankee batter, and you got to get him early and often. That splitter he has is absolutely fantastic.
Here's Ben Rice, 1 for 8 against the Royals. But Ben really punishes right-handed batters, hitting .333, an on-base percentage of .476. Overall, the numbers are very good, too. They play into pull. Caminero playing where a shortstop would play. Walls, the shortstop, plays up the middle. Goldschmidt was given a hit on that slow roller to third. And the 1-1. Shot and through for a base hit. Goldschmidt rounds second. He's going to go to third. Mangum comes up and fires into the second. So back-to-back hits to open the game. Yankees playing the corners, nobody out.
Yeah, that's that one right there. If you're Ben Rice, you're like, oh no. And then you see the shift he's got on. Absolute perfect placement by him. Seeing eye single up the middle. That's where you take the analytics out of it. But as a pitcher, you understand it like, oh man, that's an easy double play. But here come the Yankees once again. And here comes the big guy Judge up with 2 runners on.
7 for 10 in the series against Kansas City, and in the open we detailed what he did yesterday with that big home run. That one is lined into center field. It is a base hit. Goldschmidt scores. Rice is going to stop at second, so Judge picks up an RBI single, his 22nd ribby, and the Yankees have a run.
Just like that, we talk about early and often. Got a fastball to hit. Cutter actually right out over the heart of the plate. Take your singles when you can. The big ones will come. Nice easy line drive up the middle. Yankees are rocking again.
And that'll bring out the pitching coach, Kyle Snyder. 3 straight singles to open the game. Let's take a look at the Rays defense as Snyder talks with his starter. Palacios in left, Meisner in center, and Mangum over and right. Infield, Caminero, Walls, Lau, and Aranda. That's third to first. Former Yankee Ben Rourke batting behind the plate. Yandy Diaz, the DH, and Bradley, 24 years old from Stone Mountain, Georgia. He's on the mound. So a rough beginning for Bradley. Yankees have runners on first and second, a run in, still nobody out. And here's Cody Bellinger.
This is a guy right here they need to get going a little bit. They've been winning games, but if the heat gets hot, no telling what this team can do.
And Cody ended yesterday's game with a beautiful diving play for the third and final out of the ball game, as Cody played right field yesterday and Judge was the DH. Chopped to first base. They have one play. They make it at first. Runners move up. All right, Todd, it's time for the keys to this game. What do you have?
Just keep the momentum going. I think that's the biggest part for the Yankees. They just swept the Royals. They're coming back to their home spring training site. Keep the momentum going with this good weather. Will he do it again? Will Warren, he was impressive his last start. Will he come out and be dominant like he was? And we talk about that weather. Is this going to help or hurt the Yankees? And as we're seeing right now, it's helping a lot.
And here is Anthony Volpe. Now the Rays are kind of hedging their bet, Todd. They're not in. They're into the corners, but they're halfway at short and second.
Yeah, I think this, if it's anywhere in between ground ball, they're going to go to first. If it's hit hard enough, they're going to try and get Ben Rice at home. That's the chance you're going to take here.
The 0-1. 0-2. Just underway here in Tampa. Another sellout crowd is expected. The Rays ending a long 13-game homestand. The 0-2. Strike 3. Volpe down looking. Punched out by the home plate umpire, John Bacon.
Look at this right here, a splitter. We said it earlier. Do not get late in the count with him. That splitter is the most effective pitch. Had 2 fastballs to hit, just missed both of them. Big out right there by Todd Bradley.
Trying to keep the damage to a minimum. Here is Jazz Chisholm Jr. And that one misses. Let's take a look at what Bacon's all about. Neutral. More inside strikes on lefty batters, fewer low strikes. John Bacon, 7th big league season.
You don't usually see that arrow right directly in the middle there. It's pretty incredible.
Popped up. Backing up is Walls. And he'll make the play. All things considered, Bradley only gives up 1. Rays coming to bat. Well, the Yankees get a run in the top of the first. Now it's the Rays' turn against Will Warren. Take a look at the Rays lineup. They're 8-10 on the season. Meisner's played very well. He's the center fielder. He'll lead off. Brandon Lau at second. Yandy Diaz at DH. Jonathan Aranda, his numbers will shock you. They're so good. He's the first baseman cleaning up. Third baseman Junior Caminero bats 5th. Batting 6th, playing left field, Richie Palacios. Jake Mangum in right field will bat 7th. Batting 8th and catching, Ben Rortvedt. And Taylor Walls, the shortstop, is going to bat 9th. And we saw Taj Bradley, who has a very good ERA lifetime against the Yankees. So Will Warren, this will be his 4th start of the year. 1-0, 5.14, 15 strikeouts in 14 innings. Opponents at 184 against him. And we'll take a look at the scouting report.
Yeah, repeat what you did last time. It's easier said than done. Last start was really nice. He got his first win as a major league pitcher. He has that swing and miss. Those pitches he throws, he's 3rd best in swing and miss, and it's absolutely incredible. 3rd of his swings against. And power outage. Keep the ball down. Home runs have been going out here a lot, Michael, and biggest thing for him, keep the ball down, use that sweeper as much as you can.
And there's a strike to Meisner. 395, 3 homers, and 10 runs batted in. And he hits .444 against right-handed pitching. And a strike. The Rays are 8-10. They played 15 of their 18 games here at Steinbrenner Field. The only games on the road, 3 games in Texas against the Rangers. They have sold out all of their games. Capacity here is 10,046. And if you're wondering, they averaged 16,515 at the Trop last year. And in their first 54 games of the year, they'll play 37 of them at home. And if you're wondering why, well, once it hits summer, it's going to be really hot here, Todd, and the rains come, so they want to try to avoid that by front-loading a lot of the schedule.
Yeah, and I think that's very important. You know, you think about where a lot of these clubs play, and it's down south, and it gets really warm. So how many times are you going to get outside? You know, one of those things, early BP is not going to happen too often here.
2-2. Tampa Bay just lost 2 of 3 to the Red Sox here at GMS, and the last one was a 1-0 defeat. That one just missed. Now, Todd mentioned that this ballpark yields home runs. 41 home runs hit here so far. The only ballpark that has yielded more, Yankee Stadium with 42, and they both essentially have the exact dimensions. Ground ball, backhanded by Volpe, off balance throw, not in time. Base hit for Meisner.
As you can see here, Volpe actually goes to, see, he jumps going over second base. That actually causes him a split second not to get the runner out at first. You know, he does have that jump step to get set. Same time, when you read what these guys do, he thought he'd pull the ball. You're allowed to jump over afterwards. Kind of hindered him right there.
So here's Brandon Lau, 8th big league season, longest tenured Ray. And he takes low, 1-0.
You think of Brandon, he's a staple here for the Tampa Bay Rays. It seems like every year this guy comes up, and he comes up clutch a couple times during the year. And he's probably treating after the games at the bar, because
just finished a 6-year, $24 million extension last year, but the Rays did pick up his $10.5 million team option. Not many Rays make $10.5 million. I don't think any of them do. There's a base hit to right field. Meisner around second. He's going to go to third, and the throw to third is in time. Aaron Judge showing off the arm, and he throws out Meisner at third.
Well, I tell you what, right now, Aaron Judge not only does it with the bat, but he does it with his arm as well. Comes up nice and easy, takes a quick peek on a dot to third base. Perfect throw. And Meisner thought he could. He wasn't running that hard out of the chute. Why take the chance there? I guess it's early in the game. Go ahead, but guess what? Judge says, no thank you.
Pitch to Diaz a little bit low. Now Diaz usually bats leadoff, but he's batting third tonight. He had 4 starts batting third last season. There's a strike. I mean, you have to marvel at Judge. I mean, what is it that he doesn't do well?
Absolutely nothing. He does everything well. And it's smooth, too. There's nothing erratic about it.
Line drive to Chisholm. Throws to first. Back in time. Take another look at the captain's playing right.
Yeah, I think it's for you young kids out there to see this. Under control when he fields the ball. I have no clue why he was going to third base there. He had the ball before he was rounding. Again, gather yourself as an outfielder, get the ball out of the glove, and make a perfect throw to third base. Oh, man, that's how you teach it, too. Look at Austin Wells in the dugout. Let's go, he's saying.
Here is Jonathan Aranda. Judge leads the majors with a .409 batting average, and Aranda's second at .396. Also a .464 on base percentage. That one is driven to right field. Judge is there. Judge puts it away, and that'll do it. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 man left on base. We've played 1 in Tampa. It's 1-0 Yanks. Well, suit up this season at MLBShop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Visit MLBShop.com, the official source for your Yankees gear. J.C. Escarra will lead off against Taj Bradley. You know, we just saw Judge sitting in the dugout. And I asked Aaron Boone today before the game, I said, is there anybody in your long career in baseball that approximates everything that Judge brings to the table? In the clubhouse, on the field, all of his skill sets. And he paused and really thought about it. And he said, no, I can't think of anybody. He said, what we're watching is one of the greatest players who ever lived. He's one of one.
And I think what people don't understand, he's a generational talent. Size, arm strength, power. I mean, every little thing you could think of. Defense. Even when he's not going well, he's still doing well. He's doing something to help the team. And, you know, now you just think about this season with some of the guys, the Shohei Ohtanis, the Mike Trouts of the world. These are some generational talent guys that we haven't seen in a long time, and maybe we might not ever see again.
No, I was thinking, you know, if you're a baseball fan, you probably daydream and go, Joe, I wonder what it was like watching Ruth play and what it was like watching DiMaggio play or Musial play. We're getting a chance. We could say we saw Judge play every single day. That's how good he's been as Escarra goes down on strikes.
Yeah, and his category, he's jumping into some big categories with these big names too as well. So he's still got a lot of ways to go in his baseball career.
And guys, after the game last night, Aaron Judge went 3 for 3 with that home run, and Aaron Boone was asked about his performance yet again, and he said he thought that was the first time that he felt like he was really running on all cylinders, really dialed in there at the plate. Now, when Aaron Judge was asked that in the clubhouse, he said, no, not yet. I don't feel like I'm there yet. There's still more I can do. I can still improve on the margins. And Michael, you think, what more can this guy possibly do? But he still believes he can get better, and that's probably what makes him so great and so consistent, his desire to continue to try to get better.
And when he leaves the season, you know, he hit 58 home runs and won an MVP last year. He still went home. He wanted to get better. He thinks about things he could work on. And as he gets older, he's going to try to refine every great skill that he has. It's just it's amazing to watch.
And if I'm a young guy in there right now, like a Ben Rice, I am talking to him about every little thing. What's the process? What are you thinking here? I need to know. I would be just licking my chops down there asking questions.
Popped up on the left side, over the screen and into the seats. So 1-2 on Dominguez. That one misses. Dominguez a much better hitter against right-handed pitching. 293 with a 939 OPS, and against lefties, 102 with a 410 OPS. And he goes down on strikes. Third strikeout for Taj Bradley.
Yeah, he's starting to come into his own here a little bit. There's that splitter. He will use that anytime in the count, especially with 2 strikes. Nowhere near the strike zone, but it does look like a fastball right away.
There's Oswaldo Cabrera. And a base hit. Hard line drive past Aranda. So a 2-out single back to the top of the order in Goldschmidt.
Easy come, easy go. Fastball right down the plate. Ready to hit. That's what you got to be. You're the 9-hole hitter. You know you're hitting last. Watch a couple pitches, watch a couple batters. I'm going to get a fastball. That's what you do with it. Nice line drive to right.
So here's Goldschmidt. Slow roller to third base to open the game. Picked up a hit. Count 1-0. Upstairs, 2-0.
You know, from playing against Goldschmidt for a long time, he still absolutely looks the same. Strong as an ox there. I mean, this guy doesn't age one bit.
Two and one. Well, he comes into the season top with something to prove, because the first 4 months last year, it wasn't him. Then the last 2 months, it was, but he wanted to show the last 2 months were indicative of what he has left.
Yeah, and people tend to forget what this guy, what numbers he put up when he was going well. You know, he's had his spurts of months where he's struggled, but when this guy is hot, my goodness, he put him up there with the best of them at first base.
The 2-2 popped up on the right side. Lau will make the play, and that'll do it. No runs to hit, 1 man left. Let's go to the bottom of the second. Well, the NBA is coming to Prime with exclusive coverage of more than 60 regular season games, the Cup, play-in, playoff coverage, League Pass, and more. The NBA on Prime. It all starts this October. Here is Junior Caminero. Now, Caminero has moved into Giancarlo Stanton's locker at Steinbrenner Field. And knowing that this was going to happen, Stanton left a bat for him in the built-in back racks when the Yankees moved out.
And Michael, Junior Caminero was a big Yankees fan growing up. He loved Alex Rodriguez when he was in pinstripes. His love then shifted to another number 13 in Manny Machado. But when his family welcomed another boy into the world about 9 years after he was born, Junior was asked what they should name him, and he said Girardi, as in Joe Girardi. Now, they didn't do that, but that was his suggestion. That's how big a Yankees fan he was.
Well, I thought it was going, we have a Girardi Caminero out there, but Third big league season, number 3 prospect in the majors. Coming into the season behind the Jacksons, Jackson Holloway and Jackson Churio. He has the fastest average bat speed in the majors at 78.8 miles per hour. And he's just 21. Swing and a miss, got him on the breaking ball.
Yeah, that was his best sweeper right there. Looked like he didn't have a feel for it in the first inning, and right there, that one starts right off the corner. Looking fastball just out in front. And you see the helmet bob on some hitters. That means the head's moving. When the head moves, the eyes move. It's tough to hit the ball.
Here's Richie Palacios. Reinstated today from the IL. He had a broken right ring finger, so it's his first game of the season. And the Rays optioned Coco Montes to Durham AAA. I think that got the umpire, John Bacon.
See this happen too often, right off the melon there. 2-piece flap there, which is good. When it hits that, it doesn't embrace all the contact there, so he's good.
2-1 on Palacios. You know, the Rays are 8-10, and when you look under the hood, their numbers would indicate they should be better. I mean, they're a top 10 team offensively, and their pitching is pretty darn good. They are allowed 3.72 runs per game. That's tied for 5th. Starting pitcher ERA 3.30, that's 6th. Relief pitching ERA 3.68, that's a little high, it's middle of the pack, but it doesn't seem like they should be 8-10. That one is driven into right center field. That is going to be in there for a base hit. Cutting the ball off is Bellinger, going for 2 Palacios, and he starts his season off with a double.
How about that? You want to get your first hit out of the way, especially coming into the season here. Breaking pitch there, stays with it, keeps the hands back. As you hear the noise of the bat, squared that one up there, and with his speed, easy double for him as Bellinger's a little shaded to the left side.
So I was going to bring up Jake Mangum, and it must be weird looking at it. Will Warren, he was a high school teammate with Will at Jackson Prep in Mississippi. He won a state title back in 2015. 1-0.
How cool is that, though? I mean,
It must be unbelievable.
Hey, man, I wish you the best. I want you to make it to the big leagues like me. And now you're playing against each other. That's the coolest thing in the world.
1-1. He is the all-time hit king in the SEC. He has 383 hits at Mississippi State. And Mississippi State's had some pretty good hitters. And there he is at Jackson Prep in Flowood, Mississippi. Will Warren.
Always fun to see those things, what type of glove they use. That's an infield glove, too, right there. You get what you get.
1-2. Chopper off the mound is Warren. There's nobody to throw to. It's a base hit from Mangum as Palacios moves to third.
Now, if we look back on this, this is a tough play here. If you're a first baseman, Goldschmidt, you don't know whether Will's going to get to the ball or not. One of those try and take a peek to see where he's at. If he looks comfortable, get out of the way and get back to first. Ball just hitting no man's land. It's a line drive in the book.
Now the Yankees have to be careful because Mangum leads the American League with 7 steals. And that's in 7 attempts. So here's Rortvedt, and he's looking for his first hit this year. He's 0 for 17. Oh, 1.
For those watching at home here, you see Escara. He holds that pitch a little longer than usual. He's doing that pretty much on every pitch. If you get a veteran umpire up there, he might tell you, hey, throw the ball back.
0-2, he did it again.
Sometimes you get those pitches there. Could have been a little bit low, but at the same time, you know, whatever you're taught, you got to keep that up.
Now he's getting barked at by the Rays dugout. You just heard Bacon say, I've had enough out of you. Nice to hear that growing up all the time.
No, listen, at the end of the day, you're going to hear some chirping either way. I mean, let the coaches, let a player get something off their chest, and then, you know, give it a little benefit of the doubt. Maybe you missed a call. You know, you got to be okay with a little chirping going on. Because next thing you know, somebody says something, he's going to throw him out of the game. They don't want to see that.
1-2.
See how he holds it there a little bit longer? See, that's going to, you know, if you think about, you're the other team and you see that, you know, I'd be, hey, throw the ball back, you know, let's go. So it's part because of that, and it's part because he thought the ball was down. That's definitely for sure.
Fouled away. So Rortvedt is backing up a newcomer for the Rays. That's Danny Jansen. Last year he got the majority of the starts behind the plate. Keeping Mangum close.
This is one of those here, 2-2 count. Might want to steal here, try and sneak a bag or force the guy to throw to first base so they don't turn to double play.
Three and two.
And I think you saw John Bacon there talking to Escara, telling him, hey, listen, you know, that's off. Let's get going here a little bit.
So you're saying Bacon's just a little bit fried right now.
Just
Palacios at third, Mangum is at first. Let's see if Mangum goes 3-2 and 1 out. Does not. Ball 4, bases loaded. So he walks Rortvedt 0 for 17 coming into the at-bat. Close pitches, but he does walk him. And Matt Blake will go out and talk. So Todd, I don't know if you get the feel that I'm feeling. It's kind of weird having a game that counts in this ballpark. Every time we've ever been in this ballpark, it's an exhibition game. The pitcher goes 3, and you talk to the manager in the 5th inning. It's just odd. These games count.
Yeah, it's different. You know, there's one thing of talking about it, and then now seeing it in person, it is really different. There's no upper deck. They talk about how the stadium, how the wind changes, you know, hourly, if not, you know, minutes. Guys can hit homers here left and right. Next thing you know, the ball doesn't go out. There's been some balls lost in the sun because of that upper deck, so it plays on you a little bit. But I'll tell you what, these two teams are probably the most comfortable, you know, home and road teams to ever play at this stadium. So you won't see that too often.
So here is the light-hitting shortstop who's great defensively, Taylor Walls. Yankees back to the double play. Yankees lead 1-0. There's a strike. The young right-hander in a jam trying to work out. And there's strike 2 to Walls.
Yeah, that's a nice pitch right there. Sweeper, fastball in, painted on the inner half. Oh, little two-seam action. Gorgeous. Now as a hitter, you're like, all right, he throw me those two. I know he has that changeup in his back pocket. Maybe sweeper, maybe fastball again. We'll see.
goes upstairs with the fastball. Palacios at third, Mangum at second. Workbed is over at first. And Walls at the plate with a 1-2 count. Warren deals. 2-2. Wants to make it work on this pitch.
See, with Will Warren, you think he's been throwing a lot of pitches these couple outings here, so it's a big pitch. For him to go longer and to be more consistent. You know, four innings is not the best, 5 okay, but you know, if you're a Yankee fan and you work with the Yankees, you're hoping for 6 to 7 to get in that range. You know, it's possible, but right now, you know, just with too many pitches, it's hard to do.
2-2. Shot foul. Now Walls' time at short will be short-lived because the Rays signed Hae-Sung Kim, coming off shoulder surgery as a free agent. He's expected back in May, and he will be the starting shortstop. So that will bump Walls to a utility role. Two-two. Just foul. Third base umpire Adam Beck had to jump out of the way.
So this one right here, little sweeper on the outer half, came back over. The last couple pitches have been away. You would think he'd want to change what he's doing here a little bit and try maybe a fastball hard in, get him off the plate. 2-2 count. We'll see if he goes back to his bread and butter.
Another foul ball back to the screen. The 2-2. High fly ball left field. Dominguez makes the catch, tagging Palacios. The throw will be cut off by Oswaldo Cabrera. Sac fly for Walls, and it's a tie game, 1-1.
As you see Dominguez out there, higher than high fly ball. It's tough to get around it, tough to get behind it to make a good throw. Do I think he would have had him if he came up firing right away? No, I don't think so. It was a good piece of hitting, good at bat there by Walls to get that first run in.
Sac fly for Walls, his 4th ribby.
As you see here, look, he drifted to his right, and then he had to come back left. Now, if he's coming back and coming forward, then there's an opportunity maybe to get him out at home plate. But again, that wind was playing tricks with him up there. Got to make the catch first.
There's Cameron Meisner, first and second. 2 outs now. Oh, 0-1. I believe that's 30 pitches for Warren in this inning so far. Meisner, an infield single in the first, then got thrown out at third by Judge, trying to go 2 bases on a base hit to right. That was a big bailout for Warren, too. Two and 1. And a strike.
See, I think with Will Warren, you've got to command that fastball first. You could throw that sweeper for days. They know that's your second pitch. But if you can't pinpoint control that fastball, then guys are going to sit on it. As crazy as that sounds, you don't want to sit on an off-speed pitch, but got to command that first one. There you go.
Yankees getting the bullpen ready. Ryan Yarbrough is up. Well, that's not ideal. They're in the middle of a stretch without days off. You don't want to bring the bullpen in the second inning. So the runners will go 3-2, 2 outs. They'll do it again on a foul ball. You look around this park, there's not a seat to be had. The secondary market was through the roof with the Yankees in town.
See all the different Rays sign now, covering up some of the Yankee stuff. It's very different.
Yeah, that over the stands used to say Yankees, and they covered it up the day the Yankees left spring training. Three-two. Just misses, and the bases are reloaded for Lau. And that's going to do it. So Aaron Boone has seen enough of his young right-hander. And now, you do the math. He's going to have to get a lot of outs out of that bullpen. An awful lot of outs, starting with Ryan Yarbrough. So Warren pitched well last time out, struggling this time, and he's out. Well, it's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Tonight's picture comes to us from Christian. Travels to the Bronx from Las Vegas and took his dad to his first ever Yankees game. It's been a great outing. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and post your picture to social media to reflect your love for the Yankees, and we might spotlight you in a future game. Sun setting here in Tampa. The lights starting to take more of an effect. Will Warren, the sun is set on his game today. He's out after an inning and 2/3. He leaves the bases loaded. And it'll be Yarbrough against Brandon Lau. 2 men out. Nice breaking ball.
Yeah, that was filthy right there. He comes into the season. Pretty good. ERA's up a little bit. That fastball sweeper that he usually uses, not overpowering. But again, he can manipulate a left-hander with the best of them.
0-2. Well, Aaron Boone makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by Taco Bell. And the 0-2 outside. Well, he is the original bulk guy with Tampa Bay, so they know him very well. Doesn't throw hard, but doesn't have to. That's not his game. That's his game. 2-2.
Well, he's trying to nitpick that corner too as well. That's 4 in a row with that sweeper. And as a hitter, you've seen 4 of them. Yeah, maybe I could slow down here a little bit. Has to find a way to hit his spot.
Checks his swing. Did he go? No, said Adam Beck. So now a very big pitch. Bases loaded. 3-2 count. 2 outs.
Yeah, that was pretty close. I think he held up too. I think you got to go with that big sweeper here as well, Michael. Got to throw for a strike though.
3-2. Exactly what he threw, and Lau swings through. So the Rays tie the score, but they leave the bases loaded. Well, Hurricane Milton destroyed the roof of Tropicana Field, so Steinbrenner Field became the home for 2025. This is a transformation from all Yankees to Rays, but the name remains the same. This is how it looks during Yankee spring training. This is what it has transitioned to. Told you the Yankees over the grandstand. Now it says Rays. And if you look, also, the Rays say, "Thank you, Yankees." And that's where we stand here at George M. Steinbrenner Field. 1-1 game. Ben Rice takes outside. You know, I ran into the commissioner of baseball, Rob Manfred, during the offseason, and he was raving about what Hal Steinbrenner did, managing general partner of the Yankees. He said, the way he stepped up, he was not forced to do this. We did not put pressure on him to do it. He did it out of civic duty and allowed the Rays to play here, and he could not be more complimentary of the Yankee owner. There's a base hit for Rice.
And Michael, Hal Steinbrenner was actually in the Yankees dugout during batting practice today, taking it all in. And I know you were so worried during spring training about what the Rays were going to do with that huge NY in the Yankees clubhouse, or what was the Yankees clubhouse. They essentially put a tarp with Rays signage over it to cover it so there's no longer that big NY. They also have a mannequin there to show them what uniform they're supposed to be wearing for the day, in case they get confused.
That's helpful. I would need that for sure.
Now, when the Yankees said, okay, you could play here, there are certain things that were non-negotiable. Obviously, the name of the ballpark. And then if you walk into the main entrance behind home plate here, there's a big statue of George M. Steinbrenner. And they said that stays up. That is not covered. That stays up, and it's up. And all the Yankee retired numbers outside, they're still up as well. As Judge fouls it away.
I mean, that makes sense, though. You know, Steinbrenner Field.
Mm-hmm.
There's no difference there. You keep that statue up for sure. And there's still Yankee logos on the seating areas here too as well. I mean, I think some things are a lot harder to change and maneuver. I mean, but yes, they did a heck of a job here with, you know, making it kind of Rays little stadium here.
1-1 to Judge. Now, Meredith, you had covered during spring training the unbelievable transformation that happened here for the Yankees. Well, they had about 4 days after the Yankees started or ended spring training, and the Rays came up back to, you know, start the season, and they did all this work of de-Yankifying the place. And one of the things they did, they had people working in the pools because there are tiles in the pools with the NY in it. They had those removed and put Tampa Bay logos, and they got to put those tiles back in.
Even in the new training room too, there were little NYs everywhere that they went the extra mile in making sure that they covered everything in that regard. And Michael, as soon as that last pitch was thrown of the spring training game, they got started. I came 2 days later to drop my luggage off to go on the Yankees truck, and it was virtually done. It was crazy how fast they work with that.
1-2 on Judge.
I want to know who takes care of that bill.
Oh, it's the Rays.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Aaron Boone actually did kind of a cool thing. He left Kevin Cash a note on his desk, where Aaron Boone obviously occupied that during spring training, kind of like a housewarming gift for him, saying, enjoy the space. This is your home now. Best of luck this season. But I'm sure he probably only meant when he's not playing the Yankees.
That's true, too. And he also left him something else.
Well,
grounded to third. There's one. On to first. They double up Judge.
Todd, I'm glad you brought that up. He meant to leave him a bottle of tequila with that note as a housewarming gift, but he forgot the bottle of tequila, so today he handed him a bottle of 1942 and said, sorry, here you go. A little after the fact, but I'm sure it's still appreciated.
Of course.
Hey, it's not an ideal circumstance for the Rays, but, you know, hurricanes aren't ideal circumstances either. And it looks like the Rays could be back in Tropicana Field next year if the roof is repaired, which the city is going to do. That one's popped up off the bat of Bellinger. Rortvedt is there, makes the play, and that'll do it for the Yankees in the third. We go to the bottom of the third, 1-1. Game 7, a new 5-part anthology on the greatest Game 7s ever, featuring the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry, the 2016 curse-breaking Cubs, the 94 New York Rangers, and more. Watch now on Prime Video. Yarbrough got the final out of the second, leaving the bases stranded and loaded, as Yandy Diaz will lead off the bottom of the third of a 1-1 game. Volpe You know, I just read that copy about Game 7. I mentioned the 94 Rangers. And would like to note that tonight, Rangers against the Lightning at Madison Square Garden, it is Sam Rosen's final game of an illustrious Hall of Fame 40-year career. He is just an extraordinary broadcaster. He's been part of the Rangers family for so long. He's kind of raised a couple of generations of fans through his announcing, and he is going to be missed. And I hope whatever comes next for Sam is as fulfilling as being play-by-play announcer on the MSG network for the Rangers. Good man.
Well said. Yep, never had to meet him. Heard a lot about him, though. Love going to those hockey games, watching it live. A lot of action.
Here's Caminero after Aranda singled the left. Caminero can ground into double plays. He's grounded into 5 this season. Pitch outside. And it's tied for the most in the majors with Carlos Correa. (2-0). So a really early hook on Will Warren. You know, the Yankees know that the Rays have good pitching, and they didn't want to fall too far behind and have Warren face the lefty swinging Lau, so they brought in Yarbrough.
I mean, looking at it now, it was the right move for sure. I mean, 50 pitches, 50-plus pitches in the second inning. Usually give the guy the benefit of doubt of staying in there, but Booney knows his guy, understands. You know, he's been doing okay. It's just one of those rough patches here.
Fouled away. Take a look at the Yankees bullpen budget, what they're working with. So Leiter and Cruz pitched yesterday. They caught a break with Cruz getting a 2-inning save. So most of the bullpen got a chance to reset. They're in pretty good shape, but again, they're gonna have to cover a lot of innings tonight. Grounded, foul. Their next off day is Thursday, April 24th. So they have 4 games here in Tampa, and then 3 games against the Guardians in Cleveland. Two. High drive right field, going back Judge, track, wall, see ya. A 2-run home run for Caminero, and it's 3-1 Tampa Bay.
Tell you what, if you look at the swings before, he fouled a couple off and he fouled them to the first base side. So he was seeing the ball, letting the ball get deeper in his approach, and he just turns that backside on a fastball up at 89 miles an hour. He wanted it in and up, got it out over, and he let his hands do the work. And this guy is simply on fire right now.
5 home runs in his last 10 games. Here's Palacios. Almost got him.
Here it is again. The crack of the bat right there. We knew it was going right off the bat. Sweet swing, even with 2 strikes. Doesn't matter. He's still a powerful hitter.
'42nd home run hit here in this ballpark so far. That ties Yankee Stadium for the most home runs in a ballpark in 2025. Two and one. 2-2. Palacios from Brooklyn, attended Berkeley Carroll in Brooklyn. I mentioned earlier, season debut, he broke his right ring finger late in spring training. He wanted to play through it because he could still catch and throw, but it was hard for him to grip the bat, so the Rays said, no, we're going to put you on the IL. And he comes off tonight. Lofted into center field, coming on Bellinger, off the plate on a hop. So Palacios 2 for 2.
Little excuse me swing right there. How about that, coming back? Hard line drive, and then boom, gets fooled on the curveball. His body pretty much folds in half. Punch it out there, you never know what can happen. I mean, what a start for him. Oh yeah, excuse me. Base hit up the middle.
Here's Mangum. Anything ever interesting said at those first base conferences? You get a single. What does the first baseman say?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be like, you gonna take that one? And the guy was in, he'd smile and he'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take them all. And I would say, hey, I would too. That would be my first thing I'd say to him. You know, it's funny when a person gets on and gets a hit, it's like a whole 180. Your whole mindset changes. You're the happiest guy in the world. You'll talk to him about anything. Anything that comes up.
Runner goes. The throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Palacios.
Yeah, he's doing it all right now. Palacios gets a great jump. Looks like he was going first move. Inside pitch. Little change up there. Tough to get the feel of it. From Mascara. We got another runner in scoring position.
Count 3-1 now on Mangum. And Yarbrough deals. And there's a walk. Boone knows he needs a little more length out of Yarbrough right now. You can't just rifle through the entire bullpen in one game. There's Ben Rortvedt. He walked in the second inning. Palacios dancing.
Excuse me, I remember 0 for 17. That's tough. With Cincinnati, I almost broke the record of 0 for 31 streak I went on. It was luckily in the middle of the season, my second year. Dusty Breaker brought me in the office and said, hey kid, we got to pick it up or they're going to find somebody else.
Really?
And then I went 10 for my next 20 and didn't look back after that. Kind of put the pressure on you a little bit, man. Sometimes you need that. Look yourself in the mirror.
And Rortvedt is 0 for his last 17. Well, you got to really battle panicking when Dusty Baker tells you, "I'll find somebody else."
Yeah, and he was real gracious about it. He's like, I don't want to tell you, but they're looking for somebody else right now. And I mean, to hear that in my second year, I went 2 for 4 that game, and then we went to San Fran, and I just took off.
3-0. Yarbrough really working himself into problems.
Right now, he's got no feel for any of his pitches. Yeah, it's a tough feeling out there. Again, these guys are finally playing in warmer weather. No excuse, but still. Ball might feel a little different, a little sweatier in the palms, kind of getting used to it.
And a strike taking all the way. line drive. It's a base hit to right field. Charging is Judge. And they will hold Palacios at third. Bases loaded. And one man out. That's his first hit of the season.
Got to come with that heater. On a count to get, look at him fist pumping like he just did, getting his first knock there.
So that base hit brings Matt Blake, the pitching coach, out to talk with Yarbrough. And sometimes these conferences in a situation like this, Todd, it could be, hey, it's you, man.
That's it.
Yeah, you got to get out of this.
Talk to me. What are you feeling? Because we got nobody right now. It's on you. Pressure's on. Let's go. Got to make a pitch. Got to get ahead of the batters. He hasn't been ahead of the batter in a long time.
So Bacon breaks it up. So bases loaded, as it was in the second inning for Taylor Walls. Now Walls had a sac fly to Jason Dominguez. Yankees back for the double play at short and second. Fouled away. Waited on that one and fouled it away. 71-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
You know what? Sometimes just slow it down a little bit more. Sometimes good things happen. But if you're Walls, you want to see the ball deep here because it is very slow.
Another foul ball, 0-2.
As you see there, that's a fastball in. He got jammed. He's looking slow again. So those kind of swings right there. Not saying he's in between. I think he's just trying to stay back as long as he can.
Up the middle, grabbed there by Chisholm. There's one on the first. It's a double play. 4-4-3 as Yarbrough gets out of further trouble. But the Rays scored 2 and they lead 2. They wanted more, but this play by Chisholm stopped the inning cold. For the win, NWSL takes you inside the high-stakes drama of the 2024 National Women's Soccer League Playoffs and Championship. Exclusive behind-the-scenes moments of soccer icon Alex Morgan and rising star Trinity Rodman. Watch now only on Prime. Anthony Volpe will lead off against Taj Bradley. Bradley struggled in the first inning, but only allowed 1 run. Held the Yankees down since. Now he has a 3-1 lead as we start the 4th. 1-0 on Volpe. Volpe struck out looking in that first inning. First 3 Yankees got singles in the first. Came away with just 1 run. 2-0.
Been sitting there for a while. Sometimes that can help you, but most of the time hinder you a little bit here. You're sitting there, want to get it back out. Got to put more runs.
3-1. There's ball 4. So the Yankee shortstop works a walk to start out the 4th inning. Here's Chisholm, popped to short in the first for the final out of the first inning with runners on first and second. And a strike. Yankees looking to go 5 over for the first time this year. They come in at 11-7, leading the American League East. Hit sharply. Let's see if they turn 2. There's 1, and there's 2. 4-6-3 double play off the bat of Chisholm.
Ball was hit pretty hard, but man, what a smooth play there by Lowe. Backhands it, little flip underneath. Had plenty of time. God, that's tough to do right there. Going to your right, flipping down below your knee. Solid play. Bradley's very happy about that one, especially after giving up the walk.
Here's J.C. Escara. 1-0. Escara struck out in the second inning. And a strike. Did he go? Yes, he did. 1-2 on the Yankee catcher.
Let's see here, yep, pretty close, but got him going. Using that curveball now. You know, that splitter used to be the one. I guess when he gets in some tight situations, can't throw strikes. Got to try another pitch, and that curveball seems to be working.
The 1-2. 2-2. Still 2-2. Three and 2 on Escara.
As a hitter, you're like, you know what? I got to get a fastball here. They're up 2 runs. Nowadays, they can throw any pitch they want in these situations.
And the payoff. Another ground ball to second. Nice hop for Lau. And that'll do it for the Yankees in the 4th. We go to the bottom of the inning. It's 3-1 Tampa Bay. Well, fans, the Gotham Sports app is your new home for streaming live Yankees and Knicks Round 1 playoff games. Free with your eligible TV plan, or visit Gotham Sports TV to subscribe today and get streaming. Well, we go to the bottom of the 4th inning here at George M. Steinbrenner Field. And the Rays lead the Yankees 3-1. Will Warren knocked out, 2 outs into the 2nd. Ryan Yarbrough took over, and he's still in there. And it's the top of the order, starting with Meisner. And a strike. Meisner, infield single and a walk. Meisner, 27 years old, from Poplar Bluff, Missouri, raised on a farm. First-round draft pick in 2019 by the Marlins out of the University of Missouri. 35th overall pick, traded to Tampa Bay for Joey Wendell.
So Yarbrough, when he gets ahead, he can try and flip that sweeper over in different angles and throw it for a ball and hopefully get a swing and miss, but few and far between here.
Close pitch, but misses. 2-2. Fly ball left field. And the catch is made by Dominguez.
Doesn't he just look like a fullback?
Yes.
After the ball. Looks like he put some pads on him. Get it 2 yards for a touchdown, man. He's a strong boy. Linebacker, one of those.
There's Brandon Lau. Ties him up 0-1. Lau was the first batter that Yarborough faced with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the second, and he struck him out. Oh and 2.
It's one of those things. You get in late at night. All of a sudden, you get up 1 run, you feel pretty good, and then, the pressure starts mounting a little bit. Your starter doesn't go more than 2 innings. Then it changes the whole perception of the ball game.
Well, with the night game yesterday at Yankee Stadium, most of the Yankees probably got into the bed in the hotel about 3:15 in the morning. And it was one of those things where you stay downstairs, you get your luggage, and everybody goes sleep quick. But that's part of the life of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, and they're not going to bed right away either. So,
fly ball right field deep. Judge back. He's on the track. He makes the play. Round number 2. Yeah, you got to unwind.
Yeah, you got to unwind. Just got off a trip. I remember those days. You're sitting there in bed waiting for your luggage to come up. All of a sudden it comes up. Put your stuff away real quick. Then you get into bed and you're like, I'm really not that tired right now. That's, right. And that's a frustrating part. Put on some soft music or something.
I picture you as a candle guy, soft music, some incense. Is
like
that you?
No, just hear the waves.
Oh, okay.
I'm a wavy guy. No, I don't want the smells. I just want a little outside noise. Usually I brought a fan too. I use a little fan, box fan, not just a small guy to, get some kind of noise.
The 0-1. 1-1. Now Meredith did the reverse thing yesterday because she left early in this morning, so you didn't really sleep that much.
I didn't sleep at all last night, really. I just went right to the airport. I always get nervous, Michael, day games or early flights, that I'm going to oversleep.
Foul ball, but you would never oversleep because you never sleep.
Well, exactly. That's the route I went. And Luke Miller also joined me on that 6 a.m. flight. Brian Hoke from MLB.com was on that flight. A lot of people on that 6 a.m. United flight out of Newark. But I heard you had a little bit of a problem once you got to the hotel last night.
Yeah, 3 trips up to the room. The keys didn't work. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that one hurts. That hurts right there.
I'm glad you were able to overcome the adversity, Michael. Look at you today.
High fly ball, center field. And all 3 outfielders get a put out. And I had 3 different keys. One worked. Well, come out to Yankee Stadium on Friday, May 2nd when the Yankees take on the Rays. It's Jazz Chisholm basketball jersey night. The first 18,000 guests in attendance are going to receive a Jazz Chisholm basketball jersey courtesy of StubHub. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. Top of the 5th inning, it's 3-1 Rays. First game of this 4-game set. Jason Dominguez leads off against Taj Bradley. High fly ball, left center. Palacios bat, and he makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Third baseman.
And that brings up Oswaldo Cabrera. Single to right. That was in the 2nd inning.
Took Oswaldo 1 pitch. Get his first knock out of the way in this series.
1-2. Driven deep to right center field. On the run is Meisner. Gone. A home run for Cabrera. Just over the wall. 3-2 Rays.
His second swing today, both of them line drives. This one had a little more hang time to it. Fastball up, the eyes will tell you the story. I think he knew right off the bat, just like that. Just snuck over. Now the momentum shifts back to the Yankees. 9-hole hitters, man, doing it today.
Goldschmidt lines one to left field. That is going to dunk in there for a base hit. Cutting over Palacios. He'll get the ball in as Goldschmidt picks up the second hit of the night.
First time you see this crowd kind of really get into it here. Another fastball, broken bat, looked like it chipped the bat there. Got the right piece of the bat there for a nice, easy base hit to left field.
Ben Rice 2 for 2. Rips that one foul. And that's a base hit that's going to go all the way to the wall in the corner. Goldschmidt will stop at third. Rice picks up his third hit of the night. The Yankees have runners on second and third.
Another guy that's been hitting the ball really hard. Gets a pitch out over the plate, snuck it down the line, splitter. No time to react there by Aranda. Goldschmidt hustling all the way to third. Now's a situation here. You put up number 4, put him on first base, or what here?
You got to, right?
I think you have to.
Yeah.
With the way he's been hitting. You put a little pressure on Cody Bellinger here, but again, his mindset is ready to rock.
And I don't think you could say, well, righty. You don't worry about that. Righty against, Judge against anybody, you're going to walk him here, I would think. But
yeah.
That's what they're talking about with Kyle Snyder on the mound.
There's no difference. You put number 4 up, put him on first base. Be the smart move.
You're putting Judge in a position that a fly ball ties the game. No signal yet. And they're going to pitch to him.
Okay. Game on. Yeah, these first 2 pitches are going to dictate it here. If he throws a ball here, it could be. Trying to get him to chase one here. If I'm Judge, I'm looking for one pitch only. That's a fastball over the plate to drive.
Ooh. Bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how it plays out. Longest tenured manager in baseball. That's Kevin Cash. 11 years at the helm. The 1-1. 2-1. Really an interesting move by Cash.
And I think when you see Judge at the plate here, comfortable, not trying to go and attack those type of pitches, that's when you know he's sitting really well and his mind's right and he's ready to rock. So again, you look for one pitch only, and if you get it, find a way to crush it.
Not 3-1. You can't say they're pitching around it because they did give him a pitch that he swung at. Let's see what they do on 3-1.
Yeah, I think they didn't. I think that pitch right there was probably too close to one he fouled off on.
Infield is halfway. Goldschmidt at third. And there's a walk. Not intentional, but close. And the bases are loaded for Bellinger.
Yeah, if we look back at all these pitches here to Aaron Judge, it's that sequence of don't give him too much here. Again, curveball up, cutter, excuse me. Then he gets the one pitch to hit. I think that was a mistake pitch, to be honest. Then the next one's here. Curveball in the dirt, splitter down below, and then no thanks. Cutter away.
Pitch to Bellinger is low, 1-0, no place to put the Yankee center fielder. He is 0 for 2, and 1 for his last 10. 3-2, Tampa Bay with the Yankees. Yankees have the bases loaded, 1 out in the 5th. All the way to the backstop, and the runners stay put. Goldschmidt thought about it, but then stopped.
Oh, man. There's an opportunity there. You don't know the backstop too well. The pitch that just gets away, it actually hits the back and pops up. When it's thrown that fast, you think it's going to ricochet really backwards to the catcher that fast. He could have easily gotten there, but hey, opportunity missed.
2-0 on Bellinger. That one's chopped to second. They get 1. That's all they'll get. The game is tied as Goldschmidt scores. It's an RBI ground out, a fielder's choice by Bellinger. It's 3-3. Moving to third is Rice.
On a 2-0 count right here. You're looking for a better swing, but you'll take what you can get. Hard ground ball to second. RBI for Bellinger. Chalk that up as a good at-bat. Watch out with Aaron Judge coming to second base there, Walls.
So first and third now with 2 outs, and here's Volpe. 0 for 1 with a walk. Swings through 97, 0-1. Hard-throwing Mason Montgomery warming up. One of 2 lefties in the bullpen for the Rays. Swing and a miss. That one dialed up to 98.
Ooh, we still got it in there. Back to back. We'd love to see Volpe stay back on this a little bit, no matter what pitch it is. There's a big hole over there on the right side.
The 0-2. Just got a piece to stay alive. So the Yankees have tied the score here in the 5th, looking to take the lead. And the 0-2. High pop-up, shallow right center. Catch is made by Mangum, and that'll do it. But the Yankees get 2. On 3 hits, they leave 2. It started with Cabrera. He has 2 pitches today. 1 a single and 1 that home run. It's time to name that Yankee. This is a 4. I think it's much harder than that. 234 average, 67 home runs, 238 ribbies. Played for the Yankees in 2017. Spent the majority of his career with the Rays from 2018 through 2022. Name that Yankee. Here's Jonathan Aranda. First pitch swinging, fly ball center field. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 5th.
And it's my time. Like, I've played probably against this guy too.
I think you have, yeah. Yep.
Oh, man.
I was stunned on the bench today that Boone got it. Now I know the answer now. I had no clue.
All right, at least you're honest.
No clue.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank too.
Give you a little clue, a very, very small cup of coffee with the Yanks. You don't think of him as a Yankee.
That really helped.
2017 Yankees.
So time out. He was on the 2017.
So you should know him.
Oh my God.
Might have sat next to him on the plane. But again, if you blinked, he wasn't a Yankee anymore.
I have a clue. I think I have an inkling who.
Really?
I do.
1-2 on Caminero, who had a 2-run home run in the third. Now, this is one of those outings. If Yarbrough keeps the Yankees in it and eats up innings, everybody on the team, he goes up in their estimation.
Of course. You're looking now. It's a tie game. He's held him. He's giving up the home run, but he's at what, 53 pitches right now?
Yep.
That's incredible. Coming in the second inning. Bottom 5 right now, and he's still cruising by. Just one mistake.
Ground ball up the middle. Grabbed by Volpe. Gets up, fires, and it pulls Goldschmidt off the bag. Caminero reaches with an infield single.
Man, Volpe did everything right here. Slid down to his bottom, came up ready to throw. The ball just gets away from him. Maybe didn't have the best grip. Let's see. No, he made a great throw. Just underestimated where to throw that baseball. Just need to throw that up the line a little bit more, let it come back to Goldschmidt. Man, he makes it look easy.
Now to bring up Palacios, just off the IL, 2 for 2. Another lefty is up for the Yanks, Tim Hill. Foul back to the screen. Three game, first of 4. That one is looped into right field. It's a base hit. Caminero will stop at second. Bobble by Judge, but he recovers and flips it into Volpe.
Again, another just reach out and touch him. What a start for him. 3 knocks. Just an easy base hit to right field. Third base coach put his hands up right away, saying, you're not coming to third here. Judge then bobbles the ball. Of course, that's what usually happens.
Well, this could be a case, Todd, where he's just running out of gas. Throwing a lot of pitches, 56 pitches, and so Boone's going to take the ball. Mangum's coming up, first and second, 1 man out. They bring in another lefty. It's going to be Tim Hill. Hill against Mangum. And we get back. Well, the Yankees return to Prime on Wednesday, April 30th to take on the Orioles. Don't miss a minute of the Yankees beginning at 6, only on Prime. So Ryan Yarbrough, 2 2/3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, the runners on base, his responsibility. And now Tim Hill takes over. Turned into a bullpen game for the Yankees. Grounded the other way, foul off the bat of Mangum. One thing you know about Hill, he's going to come in, he's going to pound the strike zone. Here's my stuff, you try and hit it.
Very good ground ball pitcher too as well. Not overpowering, as we see. 89 might hit 91 at times. But you see tons and tons of ground balls.
Two and one. Caminero at second, Palacios at first. 3-3 game. He's gone 3-1 now on Jake Mangum. Tap slowly in front of the plate. No play as he beats it out, and the bases are loaded. Made the throw, but Mangum too quick. A base hit.
Yeah, first I thought it hit off his foot, not even close. Tough to get out there. That's in no man's land again. Tampa, they got speed, man. These guys can run. Another base hit by Mangum.
Danny Jansen is going to pinch hit for Ben Rortvedt. Big spot in the game. Bases loaded, one man out. Jansen for Rortvedt. No place to put him. 1-0. Caminero at third, Palacios at second, Mangum at first. And a strike. Got the strike call on that one.
Jansen hits very well against the Yankees. I mean, some of his numbers are really, really good. Against others, not so well. He seems to find a way to do well against his team.
1-2. Strike three. Jansen down looking. A big strikeout for Hill. 2 away.
There was, get ahead of him. Next thing you know, two-seamer right on the knees, fell right there. All you could do is look. Another huge out. Another opportunity for this Yankee bullpen to get out of a big inning here.
Figure it out, Blue!
Taylor Walls. Ball off the glove of Hill. Chisholm there. Turns it into an out, and Hill works out of trouble. The game is tied after 5. All right, let's go around the majors. The Rockies fired their hitting coach, Hensley Bam Bam Mullins, and hired their former manager, Clint Hurdle, to be the hitting coach. Alex Verdugo called up from AAA for the Braves. Tyler Soderstrom, 9th home run of the season. He leads Major League Baseball, off to a great start. Jazz Chisholm leads off against Bradley. New catcher for the Rays is Danny Jansen. Count 1-1. Chisholm popped a short and wrapped into a double play. One and two. The Yankees are hoping that this weather helps heat up Chisholm. Chisholm has not enjoyed the cold weather the Yankees have played through the first couple weeks of the season, but this is summer-like here in Tampa. Two and two.
Bradley only had 80 pitches too as well. I mean, the game's been going on a little longer than usual. You think, what's he doing still out there? He's only at 80, doing pretty good.
And the count is full on Chisholm. There's a walk, big walk for Chisholm now, a threat to run.
Really good at bat right there too.
The catcher, JC Escara.
That'll bring up Escara. He's 0 for 2. A strikeout and a ground ball to second. Pretty decent lead for Chisholm. Kind of taking 2 hop steps. The initial lead is short, then a little bit more, and then a really extended lead. Two and 0.
Big opportunity right here. Find the pitch you like. If not, you're still in the driver's seat, ready to rock.
Ground ball, a base hit. Chisholm will easily go to third. Base hit for Escara, and the Yankees have runners on first and third and nobody out in the sixth.
Again, you get into a position where you're going to get a pitch to drive. Splitter out over the plate here on 2-0. Again, if that shift is on, they're playing all these lefties way in the hole. Found a perfect place to hit in with Jazz on there. Easy first to third action.
There's Jason Dominguez. Ground ball. They get one. On to first, not in time. Chisholm scores on the fielder's choice, and the Yankees now lead 4-3.
They're not trying to do too much. Would he like to driven the ball? Of course. Again, right into the shift there. Good hustle by Dominguez. Still got a runner on here. Could have with a big bat coming up here. He's had an awesome day so far, Oswaldo.
Manuel Rodriguez is ready. And that's the first pitch that Cabrera's taken. Seen 2 pitches, a single and a home run. Looking down to Luis Rojas, the Yankees' third base coach. So the Yankees down 3-1, now up 4-3. Two and 0. On Cabrera. Goldschmidt's on deck. And he walked him on 4 pitches. First and second, 1 man out. And that's going to do it for Taj Bradley. Seems like he might have run out of gas in this inning.
Yeah, it definitely does. He's thrown a lot more pitches than any inning so far, and tough little outing for him here at the end. But a good overall here for the Yankees as they move on with a new pitcher.
Well, the Yankees 2 in the 5th inning tied it. Now they played a run here in the 6th. They've gone ahead. And they have runners on first and second and 1 out. They knock out Taj Bradley. They bring in Manuel Rodriguez, 28-year-old right-hander, 4th big league season.
Big situation for him, hard throwing, sinker slider guy. Can get up to 97, 98 miles an hour.
And a strike. Second baseman Lau shades up the middle for Goldschmidt. First baseman Aranda way off the line at first. Oh, what a nice pick there by Jansen. Kept the runners at first and second.
Yeah, it was. He's been really good at this. Wow. That ball's coming back at him too as well. 2-seam action is going to hit the dirt. Ricochet the other way. What a great play.
And with catchers now on one knee, they can't throw their body in front of it, so they have to have quick hands and pick it like a first baseman. He did a great job.
Yeah, and that goes with extra work and sometimes some luck too as well. You don't know how the ball's really going to come off the dirt.
1-2. Ground ball, right side. Too soft for 2. They get 1 as the runners move up, and that'll bring up Rice with second and third and 2 outs.
You know, you think about a base helping, but guess who's on deck? So you have to attack him. If I'm Ben Rice, I'm looking for the fastball here right away. You know, that's the mindset you got to have.
And Goldschmidt giving the scouting report right now to Judge. 1-0. Strike. Oh, man. Just got the outside corner with the slider.
It's a tough one right there. Looked a little bit down too, but they got the call.
Another base hit for Rice. He is 4 for 4, and he picks up a 2-run single. And the Yankees lead by 3. Ben Rice.
Just like that again. Fastball in, 2-seam action, rides right down the plate. Doesn't do too much. Short and sweet. That's how you teach it right there. Find a way to get these guys in. He does. What a start for him here in Tampa. Man, does he feel comfortable.
And it's not the move to have a righty pitch to him. He is just punishing righties in the early going. 4 hits tonight. That's a career high. He had a 3-hit game previous to this. That was the 3 home runs against the Red Sox last year. Hit sharply to third. Caminero will get the force at second, and that'll do it. But the Yankees get 3 on a big 2-run single by Rice helping out. Well, the Yankees have to feel pretty good about life right now. Yeah, their starting pitcher went 1 2/3. And now, as they go to the bottom of the 6th inning, they're up by 3. As Yarborough and Hill have kept it right there for the offense to come back. Big night for Ben Rice, big night for Oswaldo Cabrera. And the Yankees are up by 3, 6-3. A pinch hitter for the Rays, Christopher Morel. Pinch hits for Meisner against the lefty Hill.
Chris Morel actually having a really good year, but the only problem, he's striking out a lot. 288 on the year, but again, almost a 40% strikeout rate. Call that hit or miss, right, Michael?
Oh, yeah. That is a high percentage. He also had a play this year, Todd. Every player's worse than that. Everybody wants to style and everybody wants to take a look at home runs. He flipped his bat dramatically and was making that big wide turn toward the first base dugout, and the ball didn't leave the park.
I remember that.
I mean, can you imagine how mortified?
Oh, it's a nightmare.
Oh.
Because you got the other team's going to be chirping at you. You come back to the dugout, everybody's quiet. You're like, oh my God, did he really just do that? Oh, man.
Ian Hamilton is up. Well, you called it, Todd.
Yep.
A strikeout of Morel.
And listen, in this new age of hitting, you know, launch angle, you know, a lot more home runs, you know, trying to square the ball up differently. With 2 strikes, it's been the old adage, shorten up and try and drive the ball the other way. Choke up to the bat. You know, there's no shame in doing that. You don't see that too often.
That one is chopped to Chisholm. 2 away.
You know how many home runs I've hit later in my career choking up? I've done a 2-strike approach, even on an 0-0 count.
And still able to hit it out.
Think about Barry Bonds. He choked up on a 32-inch bat. You know? Incredible.
I mean, Paul O'Neill talks about that all the time. You know, do what you want the first 2 pitches, but after that, it's your responsibility to put the ball in play. But that's not the mindset anymore. Not like they're playing against what they're being told. Hit the ball out. But you would have to think, when your strikeout rate is 40%, it might be time for a little tweak.
Something, yeah. Maybe find a new bat, move up. I mean, Pete Rose always told me you can move up, move back, move in, move out, something different.
Grounded to third, Cabrera. And Hill works a 1-2-3, 6th inning as the Rays go down in order and we go to the 7th. Back here at George M. Steinbrenner Field, first game of a 4-game set. And the Yankees lead the Rays by a score of 6-3 as we go to the 7th inning. And now we get a look at Mason Montgomery, whose fastball averages 99.3 miles per hour. Averages. And the lefty deals. Swing and a miss.
Just like averages that and then 91 slider. You're Bellinger, you're like, you got to be kidding me right now. That's the worst.
He has topped out this year at 102 miles per hour. And the only lefty pitchers to reach 102 in the pitch tracking era are Chapman, Jose Alvarado, Felipe Vasquez, and now Montgomery. He has similar movement and extension profiles to the prime Aroldis Chapman.
A lot less movement than him though on the mound. He just get it and go.
Why not? Line to left field. That's a base hit. That's impressive. He turned a 99-mile-an-hour fastball around. Bellinger with the leadoff single. Got some changes for the Rays defensively. Morel stays in and left. Mangum moves from right to center, and Palacios moves from left to right, with Montgomery on the mound. Volpe chops one right side. Loud. There's one on the first. It's a double play. Volpe does not think they got him. Puts his hand up to signal to Aaron Boone to challenge. We'll see if they do.
Yeah, usually when you see a runner like that and a first base coach putting their arms up, usually
Ball on the
means he
field
was
is out
safe.
at first base. New York is challenged.
That's going to be overturned.
Yeah, that's an easy one right there.
First base umpire, the crew chief, Dan Iasonia. That's a tough one to miss.
Yeah, that's, you know, you lean towards the benefit of alcohol, knowing that they do have an opportunity to challenge. But as an umpire, you always want to get it right too, as well. You look back on the year like, hey, you had a lot of those, but good hustle.
So listening in, Scott Barry, the second base umpire, and Dan Iasonia, the crew chief. Very clearly, he is safe.
After review, the call at second base is confirmed. The runner is out. Also after review, the call at first base is overturned. The runner is safe. New York retains their challenge.
So they reviewed both.
2 for 1.
Let's see here. Yep, skim the back of the baseball, or the bag, excuse me.
So here's Jazz Chisholm. He started the Yankees 3-run 6th inning with a walk against Bradley. When you're at the plate, a guy's throwing 102. Do you have even time to process, Todd?
No, you're just looking for a fastball in the vicinity where you want to swing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you throw a slider at 91, 92.
And you're done.
Yeah, you're in trouble because if you can't pick up the dot on the ball, you're in trouble. But you're swinging at an area and a time, and you're going to stay on that time. And then if you think it's a fastball, you're going to look silly.
And you gotta look fastball. You can't.
Of course.
You look ridiculous if you look slider and he throws 102 past you.
Exactly. So now you're in the hole 1 and 2 on a 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, Montgomery was a starter in the minors until the middle of last year, made it to the majors last September, and looked electric. Looks like he has found his niche. It's amazing if you look just the last decade or so, the Rays just keep pumping out hard-throwing relievers. They get hurt, and they find more. They get hurt, and they find more. A lot of Tommy John surgeries, but they keep finding guys with arms.
Yeah, and kudos to their department, man, for just bringing over a guy all of a sudden that nobody really wanted, or, you know, saying, hey, we got to revamp some things, and they come over here and they just go out and just pitch, and they pitch really, really well.
Two. Count 3-2.
Got away with that one there, Mike.
Sounded like a strike.
Yeah, I think that one. Ooh-wee.
Wow.
You'll take that if you're Jazz here.
Strike 3. That one looked outside. Maybe it's a makeup call, and Chisholm's down on strikes. Did you find that happens sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes. You can't make up for a call that you missed before. I mean, there's no such thing about that. You missed a call, you don't make up for it, and there he goes.
Well, you can't argue balls and strikes, and he was teetering on that edge, and Boone was trying to break it up, but Bacon had enough. Now, he might get fined, too, because he just tossed the helmet lightly, but he tossed the helmet toward home plate.
And that's the unfortunate part. You work your butt off to get the 3-2 count, and then you get a called strike 3 on that one, which was clearly low. As we're going to see in the replay here again. It's a fastball. Clearly down. At least a ball down. You know, guys throwing 99 to 100 miles an hour. And not his fault you missed a call before, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's frustrating.
Well, Jazz was certainly chapped and wanted to be heard. Runner goes.
Good jump.
He's in there with a stolen base.
You know, all that hopping at first base, you know, basically he's trying to teeter and figure out, oh, that was such a perfect jump, too. His leg went up while he was moving towards second base. Yeah, it took him a bunch of pitches, but look at that. Momentum. No way you're getting him out there.
Escar had a big single to center in the Yankees' 3-run 6th inning that broke a 3-3 tie. And a strike. That was 100 miles an hour, foul back. Ground ball, first base. Ronda with the hop. Steps on the bag, and that'll do it. No runs a hit. One man left, and Jazz thrown out. Well, now it's time for the 7th inning recap brought to you by Inspire. 6-11-0 for the Yankees, leading 3-11-0 for Tampa Bay. Will Warren lasted 2 outs into the 2nd. Big night for Ben Rice. Taj Bradley 1 out into the 6th. Junior Caminero 2 for 3 with a 2-run home run. And Jazz Chisholm was ejected in the top of the inning. Oswald Peraza will take over for Chisholm at 2nd. And Tim Hill's still out there. So the 2 lefties in the Yankee bullpen doing big work. Here's a Ronda. And a strike. Slow roller. They test out Peraza right away, makes the play.
Ball always finds you. I'm telling you. It ceases to amaze me that all of a sudden you get put in a spot. I don't care if you're playing left, right, doesn't matter. The ball will find you in those legs. It's like, oh, I gotta go, I gotta go. Nice play there. Big out there for Hill.
Well, that is going to do it for Hill, who came on and did a really, really good job. Yankees need to get 8 more outs out of this pen. So Boone signals to the bullpen to face Caminero next. Back here in Tampa, it's time to name that Yankee. Here are the clues. Again, Todd, you had dinner with the guy, you rode on buses with him.
Man alive. You know, the 67. I didn't even.
I agree. I didn't either.
I never played with him.
He was on that team.
Oh, what? In 17? When?
Right there. That home run.
Oh, my God. Where did he go? He wasn't there when I was there. Guys, you got your years wrong or something. No way. 17. No, he wasn't there.
Ian Hamilton deals a strike to Caminero.
Would have loved to meet the guy. I'm telling you, there was nobody ever brought up that name when I was over there in 17. Everybody's like, hey, when's he coming back? Well, he wasn't there.
Count 0-2 on Caminero. 6 games with the Yankees in 2007. He had 2 home runs.
Then what happened?
Then he went to the Rays.
Oh, I got you.
And he had really great numbers against Cole. 4 home runs and 41 career plate appearances against Cole.
Let me ask you this. Say we end up winning the World Series that year.
He gets a share.
No, forget the share. Should he get a ring?
Yeah, it's happened before, yeah.
Do you know in other sports, NBA, they don't give you, I think you got to play a certain amount of games. So a guy comes up for, 5 games,
right,
and it goes back down. I don't think they give him a ring.
And I've seen on the Yankee championship teams, if a guy's up for 4 or 5 games, they get him a ring.
1 game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, you played a part.
Yep.
You hit 2 bombs. So homers.
Caminero swings and misses.
Nice pitch right there. Just fell off the table. Our first right-hander coming in for the Yankees there. All of a sudden, changes the eye levels where they're throwing the ball here. Good call.
Now, Kevin Cash, the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays, played 9 games with the Yankees in 2009, and he got a ring.
That's great. Should be wearing it right now. Yeah, I mean, I guess not.
Hey, listen, we're joking. I announced the games, and I didn't know the guy. I mean, I know who he is, but I didn't recall him. But Boone got it right away. Boone got it right away.
How?
There he is. Looks like a Yank.
Solid. Wore the pinstripes, man. You can never take that away from him.
Oh, listen. You've got an excuse. You've got an excuse. Volpe gets the out. G-Man Troy last played for the Yankees July 16th. You were traded to the Yankees on July 19th.
Oh,
you never met him. Never met him.
Incredible.
A lot of Yankee fans here in this sellout crowd at Steinbrenner Field. A lot of schools have this week off, Passover and Easter. So people have made their way down to Tampa to enjoy the warm weather and watch these 4 games. Here's Eric Orsi. He'll take over for the Rays to pitch the 8th inning. Yankees lead 6-3. This will be the 3rd game for Orsi. And that'll bring up Dominguez. Dominguez, Cabrera, and Goldschmidt. Orsi was called up from AAA on Monday. And it was a November trade from the Mets to the Rays for Jose Siri.
Heavy changeup guy. Throws it over 50% of the time. I think he'd be a left-hander.
Orsi is a story of perseverance. 2 battles with cancer in college and beat them both. Testicular cancer, successful surgery, and then he had skin cancer, and he got through that too.
Wow, incredible.
2-2.
I mean, you have to be mentally strong too for all that. I mean, look where he is right now, man. Testament of who he is as a person.
And there's that change you were talking about, Todd. And that'll bring up Oswaldo Cabrera. We'll take a look at the exit velo, brought to us by Spectrum, on the home run in the 5th inning. Got out, 100.4 off the bat. And it was his first home run of the year. He's 2 for 2 with a walk. Good night for Oswaldo Cabrera. Ground ball. Lau gobbles it up. 2-away. Lau's been busy at second base today. That'll bring up Goldschmidt. 2 more hits. He's 2 for 4. Great start, hitting .357. One and 0.
Goldschmidt comes over here. You never thought he'd be a leadoff guy.
Never before?
Never before. 3-4 guy.
Ground ball to Caminero across the diamond, and that'll do it. So Orsi comes on and works a 1-2-3 8th inning. Go to the bottom of the inning. Yankees up 6-3. Well, let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. This happened in the 1st inning on a base hit off the bat of Brandon Lau. For some reason, Meisner tries to go to 3rd. Judge said no. And if he was a pitcher, Todd, that'd be called easy gas.
Easy money right there. Again, smooth as silk. Put your hand up, 1 out, move on.
Yankees change the defense up a little bit. You've got Judge in right. Now Grisham takes over in center. And Bellinger moves over to left, replacing Dominguez. Ian Hamilton on for the Yankees. He got the 2 outs in the 7th. Now 1-0 count on Mangum. 1-1. Mangum 2 for 2 with a walk. He's 8 for his last 14. Count 1-2. Mark Leiter Jr. ready to go.
Had a good conversation with him today. Tom's River guy. We used to work out together when he was a lot younger and do some live hitting, man. A lot of fun with him.
So you chose to hang with Mark Jr. rather than Al. You just felt it was less strenuous?
Less strenuous. He wasn't as high-tempered, you know what I mean? So
not as, in your face space.
Al's good people.
2-2. 3-2. So a full count. And Mangum chases the fastball up and away. He's down on strikes. 1 down.
Big one right there. Fastball way out of the plate. I think he had it in his mind, swing mode. Sometimes you get in swing mode and you swing at anything that comes. He knows it. Could have been a perfect day for him, but big out there by Hamilton.
Danny Jansen lines one into left center field. So he's 1 for 2 after pinch hitting in the 6th inning. So 1 on, 1 out. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So Jansen with the single. That'll bring out Matt Blake. Conference on the mound. On this date in 2009, Yankees won their first game at the new Yankee Stadium, and they hit 5 home runs in the game. Yankees beat the then Cleveland Indians by a score of 6-5. Also on this date, 1976 in Yankee history, Thurman Munson was named captain of the Yankees, the first captain named by the Yankees since Lou Gehrig, who had that role from 35 to 39. So the conference is over. Runner on first with 1 man out. And here's Taylor Walls. 0 for 2 with a sac fly. Right field, Judge, 2 outs. And back to the top of the order, and here is Christopher Morel.
And he does put the ball in play. It goes for a hit. So, again, we talk about strikeouts, but when he does get it, the ball does go. Good start right there. Nice slider. Morel sitting on fastball.
Again, 0-2.
Now, Michael, you've seen a lot of games. Do you throw a fastball here?
You know what? There's 2 types of players. I keep throwing the slider a little bit more outside.
If you throw a fastball here, it's got to be up. But again, slider a little further outside would probably be your best bet here. There you go.
That's what he did. Now everything's in play.
Of course. But again, with a guy like this, you don't have to throw a strike. He's in swing mode already, for the most part. I mean, If it's way off, way up, way in, whatever it is, he's not going to swing. But if it's anywhere close, he's going to take a chance.
Swing and a miss.
There you go.
Slider, slider, slider. So Morel goes down on strikes. The Rays strand one, and we go to the 9th inning. Yankees up 6-3. Just a beautiful night here in Tampa. Statue of George Steinbrenner outside George M. Steinbrenner Field. The 2025 home of the Tampa Bay Rays. Spring training home of the Yankees for 30 years. And now they've turned the keys over to the Rays for this regular season. 6-3 Yankees lead Tampa Bay. Pete Fairbanks comes on. Ben Rice, can he go 5 for 5? Pitches high. The 4 hits, that's a career high. And the count 2-0.
You know, with Fairbanks, you're going to get a good you're going to get a good interview after the game, a real one. And 2, he's going to come with that fastball, a little bit of slider action too.
Seventh game, gotten off to a good start. 7th big league season, 31 years old.
Terrible, Rice!
You're 4 for 4. How much do you want 5 for 5? I mean, how much are you thinking about that?
The whole time? No, it's one of those things where you look in the lineup, you're like, oh, I'm actually going to get up one more time. All right. Do I try and just, knock one out of the park, or do I, play this right here? 3-1 count. I think you swing out of your shoes here, up 3.
Ground ball, and he hit it hard, but right at Aranda. So he's 4 for 5.
And now you're running back. You're like, man, they should have taken me out. This is baloney. But another really good swing. Just knocked it into the ground, hit it hard.
Now our colleague, Paul O'Neill, has told me that would ruin his night. If he had 4 hits and then he made it out on loud, he said that's what he took home.
Yeah, no, that's tough. He was a competitor, though, for sure.
1-0 on Judge. Judge an RBI single in the 1st. Hit into a double play in the 3rd. Walked in the 5th. And a 5-4 fielder's choice in the 6th. We're in the 9th inning. Yankees up 6-3. High fly ball. Center field. Mangum puts it away. The old home run in a silo. That was up there.
Yes, it was. Just a tick underneath. Timing was there.
Devin Williams up for the Yanks. He'll come in to try and close it out. Here's Bellinger, single to left against the hard-throwing Mason Montgomery. That was in the 7th. Had an RBI and a ground out as well, so he's 1 for 4. Well, Fairbanks did something in spring training that only veterans get to do. He took a week off in spring training. Wanted to be on the side, work on his delivery. He said he was getting into bad habits. Didn't have to make the team.
Yeah, one guy I think about that did that, waited a while, was Chris Sale, man. He was on his own schedule. Didn't start for a couple weeks in.
Fly ball, right center. Mangum puts it away. Yankees go down in order. Devin Williams will try to close it out. Well, the Yankees lead Tampa Bay 6-3, wanting to get off to a good start in this 4-game set and win their 4th game in a row, so they'll turn to the closer, Devin Williams. Devin, his 8th game. 6 innings. He's walked 6. He struck out 8. Had a couple of shaky outings, but he has saved the last 2 games he's been called into. And now he'll take on the Tampa Bay Rays here to get the final 3 outs of this one.
Yeah, this is a closer's dream. 3 runs. Find a way to get 3 outs here. No matter what you do, you get the save in the box.
So he's had 3 consecutive scoreless outings, and he had his first 1-2-3 inning of the season on Tuesday against Kansas City. First one up will be Brandon Lau. Lau 1 for 4. Grounded right side, grabbed by Peraza from the knees, fires a sparkler. Outstanding play by Peraza.
Just coming into the game, the ball find you. That one in the hole. Reaches out with his left hand. What a play. Plenty of time to get the out at first base. What a start. 1 pitch. Yeah, middle infielders, they always find a way to get to the ball.
Boy, does that change the tenor of his outing? 1 pitch, single, you're going to start to think, uh-oh, what's going on here? Instead, it's 1 pitch, 1 out, as he deals a ball to Yandy Diaz. Peraza took over at second when Jazz Chisholm got thrown out, arguing a called 3rd strike. First ejection as a Yankee, 5th of his career. There's that changeup for a strike. Diaz is 0 for 4. Has a 6-game hitting streak on the line. Peraza again. This one a bit easier. 2-way.
Yeah, if we go back to this set of position, Goldschmidt has no chance in between a dive and a layout. What a great play. And look at Devin watching him here. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's nice and calm there, but inside he's really excited. I got you. Oh, yeah. Very, very nice.
Here's a Ronda. 1 for 4 and a run scored. You can see the Rays' game plan. Let's jump early so we don't get into that changeup count.
Of course. It's one of the nastiest changeups in baseball.
And there it is, ball game. Caught by Cabrera. The Yankees win 6-3. Once again, their bullpen did a great job. Yarbrough, Hill, Hamilton, and Devin Williams picks up the save, and they start this 4-game set with a victory.
Yeah, a little earlier than they wanted, but the 2 big lefties, man, Ryan Yarbrough, Tim Hill, came through. Great job for them. Just gave up the 1 home run. They've been absolutely lights out, this bullpen. Coming in, giving up 0 runs in the last 17 innings. And you saw it from all of them, man. 4 guys coming in, doing their job, and then the offense picked it up. Ben Rice had himself a day, too.
Ben Rice 4 for 5 in this one, and Aaron Boone has to feel great. When your starter gives you an inning and 2/3, you're just scratching your head, how do I get through this game? I don't know if you're thinking, how do I win this game? How do I get through this game without impacting other games? And he did, and he got the win.
Yeah, and they did everything right after that. You know, Will Warren, you know, too bad at the end of the day, 1 inning and 2/3. But again, this is what a team's about. You know, this Yankee team, who's up next, who's going to pick each other up. And that's a full games right there for all these pitchers and hitters coming through, especially down 3-1.
And it's time now for the player of the game, presented by Snickers.
Yeah, we know who that is. Ben Rice coming up clutch. First starting off this game with a knock up the middle, C&I single. That kind of kickstarts you a little bit. Then a nice line drive to left field, going 2 for 2 after that. Comes up big here, another fastball. Double down the line, gets the rally going. That's his 3rd knock of the day, and then the big one. A single to left center, 2 RBIs to put them ahead. What a day. He looks more comfortable the more games he keeps playing.
317 in 17 games, 5 home runs, 9 ribbies, OPS of 1.064. And of course, he's down on the field ready to talk to Meredith Marakovitz.
Thanks, Michael. Ben, 4 for 5 tonight, 2 RBI. What allowed you to be so comfortable at the plate this evening?
Yeah, I think just always having a plan when I was going up to bat and just trying to execute it.
It's not just tonight. It's really been all season long. 5 home runs, 9 RBIs, and OPS over 1,000. How validating has this start to the season been for you?
It's good, and on top of that, we're winning ball games, so it's important. I mean, but yeah, at the end of the day, you just got to win games.
What do you think of the effort of the bullpen today, Warren getting out in that second inning?
Sorry, say it again?
What did you think of the effort of the bullpen as a whole, Warren getting knocked out in that second inning?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, our bullpen's been, the backbone of the team for the whole season so far. And what they did tonight, just, it was just another example of that.
Ben, how odd was it walking in here today, going to the visitors' side, not being over in that home clubhouse that you guys called your home all throughout spring training?
Yeah, it was nice. We had a shorter walk to the clubhouse today. But honestly, it didn't feel all that different. It just feels like another road game, and we just came out here with the job to do and executed tonight.
Ben, appreciate the time.
All right, thanks.
Send it back up to you, Michael.
All right, thank you, Ben, and thank you, Meredith. 6-11-0 for the Yankees, 3-12-0 for the Rays. It took 2 hours and 48 minutes. Hill got the win. He's 2-0. Devin Williams is fourth save. Taj Bradley took his first loss, 2-1. Caminero, 2-run home run for the Rays, and you heard about Ben Rice. What a night for Ben Rice. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Michael Cooney, Mike Webb, and the executive producer of the Yes Network is Jared Ames, Bosnack. Don't forget to join us again on Wednesday, April 30th, as the Yankees face off against the Orioles. That'll be at Camden Yards in Baltimore. Coverage begins at 6 on Prime, with first pitch coming just after 6:30. For more coverage of tonight's game, tune into the Yes Network for the W.B. Mason postgame show. Again, the final score is the New York Yankees 6 and the Tampa Bay Rays 3. For Todd Frazier and Meredith Marakovitz, I'm Michael K. saying see ya from George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Florida. The Yankees have won 4 in a row and win the first game of this 4-game set. Have a good night, everybody. So long.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
And it is great to have you with us here on the W.B. Mason postgame. Bob Lorenz and John Flaherty with you. Final from George M. Steinbrenner Field. The Yankees win the opener against the Rays 6-3. Sometimes rice is a side dish, most of the time. But tonight it was the main course as Ben Rice comes up big with 4 hits. And they get the win. Let's get your Hyundai opening comment.
Yeah, Ben Rice was the offensive star of this game. We talked in our pregame show about the totality of the Yankee bullpen. I felt like they showed themselves tonight. When Will Warren only went an inning and 2/3, I thought the biggest out of the ball game was in the bottom of the second inning. Ryan Yarbrough comes in the game, gets Brandon Lowe to swing and miss to get that 3rd out. It just settled everything down at that point. Then you hand the ball over to Tim Hill. Then it's Ian Hamilton. And then Devin Williams is going to be able to close it out. But for me, when you have those relievers you can bring in early in a game, when your starter is struggling, just to settle things down, give your lineup a little bit of time to find their groove. Obviously, Ben Rice had a big night, 4 hits for him tonight, but it was kind of that lineup all the way up and down producing. This was a very, very nice win to get the first win against the Rays in a 4-game set because there were a lot of things to like. It wasn't one-sided.
They chipped away. I mean, great at bats to get 2 runs back in the 5th. And then let's go to the 6th with the game tied at 3. It's our turning point of the game. Brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. And again, all tied at 3. Jazz Chisholm Jr. leading off against Taj Bradley, works a full count walk, and the Yankees are in business.
Yeah, next batter is going to be J.C. Escara. That's a 2-0 pitch. He gets a ball he can handle right back up the middle. Yankees have something going here in the 6th, 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
All right, so they're all set up for Jason Dominguez, who has come up big lately over his last 5 games, batting .400. And he grounds a ball to second base. Escara's out at second for the force. Dominguez safe at first. Jazz scores, and the Yanks take a 4-3 lead.
Next batter is going to be Oswaldo Cabrera. He's going to be able to work a walk. And again, the Yankees just taking what Bradley is giving them to set it up for Ben Rice.
And then after a pitching change and a Goldschmidt ground out, here is a big base hit by Rice.
You know, we see Rice get the bat head out, Bob, and pull the ball to right field. But the way he just stays inside, blocks it the other way, he has become not only a guy who hits the ball awfully hard, he's become a run producer, an RBI guy, because of that situation there with that at bat. Just stay inside inside the ball, drive it the other way, take a couple of runs. It's somebody that I just think is not a power hitter.
Right.
Drive the ball to right field. He's a complete hitter, hitting the ball line to line.
Yep, just gets the bat on the ball and gets it done. First 4-hit game of his career today. Ben Rice coming up big in this one. As you take a look now at his 4-hit night, memorable moments presented by Prevagen, made for your brain. And again, he gets things going in the first. Remember, you talked on the pregame about Goldschmidt and Rice and what you liked, and he gets them going.
Yeah, these guys are just setting the tone there. A couple of hopper right back up the middle. Then you move forward again. Bob blocks the ball up the other way. That's leading off the third. Then you go top of the fifth. He's going to get a splitter, and he hammers this ball down the right field line. So we've seen one to left field, one to right center. Now this one down the line in right field. Then the top of the sixth. He's already 3 for 3 on the night. Couple of runners on, and this is just a big league at bat, taking a pitch in the middle of the plate, driving it the other way. First career 4-hit game for Ben Rice, and a couple RBIs there to kind of break this one open.
Really good production from that number 2 spot tonight. In 17 games this season, he's ranked 6th in average at .317, 5th in on-base percentage at .414, and 4th in slug at .650. So again, a career high 4 hits for Rice. He was asked about his big night after the Yankees win by Meredith Marakovitz.
Yeah, I think just always having a plan when I was going up to bat and just trying to execute it.
It's not just tonight. It's really been all season long. 5 home runs, 9 RBIs, and OPS over 1,000. How validating has this start to the season been for you?
It's good, and on top of that, we're winning ball games, so it's important. I mean, but yeah, at the end of the day, you just got to win games.
What do you think of the effort of the bullpen today, Warren getting out in that second inning?
Sorry, say it again.
What did you think of the effort of the bullpen as a whole, Warren getting knocked out in that second inning?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, our bullpen's been, the backbone of the team for the whole season so far. And what they did tonight, just, it was just another example of that.
Ben, how odd was it walking in here today, going to the visitors' side, not being over in that home clubhouse that you guys called your home all throughout spring training?
Yeah, it was nice. We had a shorter walk to the clubhouse today. But honestly, it didn't feel all that different. It just feels like another road game, and we just came out here with the job to do and executed tonight.
Ben, appreciate the time.
All right, thanks.
Meredith, thank you for that, and Ben Rice as well. And again, on the pregame, you talked about he and Goldschmidt kind of interchangeable in the leadoff spot on top of that lineup. And how about this? Everybody getting on base for the Yankees tonight in that lineup, and the top 4 going 8 for 19.
Yeah, it was just a total effort offensively. But again, I go back to the veteran Goldschmidt leading off, showing these young hitters, Ben Rice behind him, how to have a big league at bat and try to give a couple of hits tonight. But Ben Rice, you can't say enough about what this kid has done, from getting a chance in spring training to show what he can do, to taking advantage of these at-bats, Bob, and not only driving the baseball, but driving it the other way. The only question about Ben Rice, where is he going to end up defensively, right? You got Goldschmidt playing first base, so there's not going to be too many opportunities there, but he's taking his at-bats as a designated hitter, and he's taking advantage of those at-bats.
All right, let's turn our attention to pitching now. And again, 4 relievers covering 7 1/3 innings after an off night for Will Warren. And Tim Hill, after Ryan Yarbrough, who you gave credit to earlier, comes in a big spot, bottom of the 5th, facing pinch hitter Danny Jansen, strikes him out on the low sinker, and that brings up Taylor Walls.
Taylor Walls, it's going to be another sinker. It's going to be some weak contact to Jazz, an easy play as Tim Hill works his way out of the inning. And then you go bottom of the 6th. Again, Bob, it's going to be weak contact. Oswaldo Cabrera, going to be an easy play for him. Another pitch here on the inner half. Again, weak contact. When I watch Tim Hill go about his business, it is a simple game plan. I'm going to fill up the strike zone with 2-seam fastballs. It's not going to be 90 miles an hour. It's going to be 87, 88, 89. But there's a man who knows how he can get big league outs. He just pounds the strike zone and challenges hitters.
And then Hamilton comes in, goes an inning and 2/3, and Devin Williams wraps things up in the 9th. So the bullpen all told 8 hits, just 2 runs allowed, 6 strikeouts, and 1 walk. So all of those guys getting the job done. And like you said, just good to see Tim Hill, who works so quickly and efficiently, all of a sudden pops back out for the 7th, gets a big out, and then gives way to Hamilton.
Yeah, I just think I appreciate Tim Hill and how he's established himself as a big league reliever, because in today's game where it's all about high velocity, throw the ball as fast as you can, Tim Hill has realized, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to change my arm angle down here, and I'm going to rely on movement. But probably the most important thing, he dictates the action. production. He throws the ball over the plate. He never seems to be behind in counts. And if you're a hitter, you feel that, Bob. You feel this guy who's filling up the strike zone. Because of that, with his movement and the arm angle, there's a lot of weak contact. So he's become, not only this year, but last year, a big part of the Yankee bullpen. And he's just continued this year, gotten off to a nice start.
We got to take our first break here on the WB Mason postgame. A lot more coming up. When we come back, we'll hear from the skipper, Aaron Boone, as his Yanks open their stop in Tampa with a 6-3 win.
The Yankees postgame show on Yes is presented by WB Mason. Get fast free delivery of food service products you need at prices you'll love. Request your free catalog today at WBMason.com. The Yankees postgame show on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Kia dealers. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires.
Good to have you back on the postgame. Let's get to our game highlights brought to you by your local Ford stores. And always important to get that early lead, and that's exactly what the Yanks do. 2 runners on, Aaron Judge at the plate. Gets a cutter from Taj Bradley and knocks it into center field. 1 run comes in, and the Yanks are on the board first, 1-0. But what we saw as they flipped to the bottom half of the first, some early hard contact against Will Warren.
Yeah, Will Warren in the first looked like he was struggling a little bit. Brandon Lau is going to be a base hit to right field. You're going to have Cameron Misner, who's trying to go to third base. Not a good decision. We saw Aaron Judge driving a run. Now we're seeing Aaron Judge show why he's a Gold Glover out in right field with that throwing arm. Again, we get another look at the replay, comes up with a clean, and then just delivers a perfect strike on the fly. Easy play for Aaron Judge.
Almost like Meisner forgot who was out there. Bottom of the second, Warren, a 3-2 count to Meisner, misses low with a 4-seamer and walks him, so that would be the end of his night. 4 hits allowed, a couple walks, 53 pitches, including 37 in that second inning, but in comes Yarborough.
I think that was one of the biggest outs of the game right there. Bases loaded, 2 outs, gets him to swing and miss. Bottom of the third, 1 out and a runner on for Junior Caminaro. This is going to be a drive to right field. That's going to be a 2-run shot, and the Rays take an early 3-1 lead.
That was the only blemish on Yarborough and the entire bullpen, though, for the night. Top of the 5th, Oswaldo Cabrera will step up, getting the start at third, batting 9th, drives a fastball from Bradley deep to right center and gone. For Cabrera, that's his first homer of the season. He gets the Yanks to within 3-2. Then a few batters later, they have the bases loaded.
Yeah, Cody Bellinger up at the plate. He's going to have a 2-0 count. Kind of expands out of the strike zone, but that's going to be an RBI force out at second base. Game tied up at 3.
So now it's a bullpen game. Tim Hill, we showed him, bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Gets Wall to ground out to end the inning. No harm, no foul there. And then on to the top of the 6th. Yanks with a 4-3 lead after the Martian grounded out, and Ben Rice coming through with a big base hit. Again, a career-high 4 hits on the night for Rice. Knocks the ball into left center, 2-run score, and the Yanks have a 6-3 lead. About the only thing that went sideways came in the top of the 7th. 3-2 count to Jazz Chisholm Jr., and he's going to get what he thinks is ball 4.
Yeah, and it is ball 4. It's down. It's out of the zone. It's really not even close. The only question was the pitch before looked like a good pitch that wasn't called a strike. You can see Jazz having the argument with the home plate umpire. He would eventually get ejected from this game.
All right, so Jazz is gone. Oswald Peraza, by the way, came in. One more look at that. And it was below the zone. And the pitch before that, as you mentioned, was actually a strike. So Jazz ejected from the game. Mentioned Peraza came in and played a good second base. As the Yankees win it, 6-3 is the final. They knocked out 11 hits. Ben Rice, a big night. And the bullpen coming up big, covering 7 1/3 shutout, or 2-run innings. Time to hear from Aaron Boone about the win in the manager's report, brought to you by Toyota.
Aaron, how fortunate do you feel to get out of here with a win, considering your starter didn't make it out of the second inning?
Yeah, just what a great team effort. I mean, you know, position players just at bats, grinding away. And then, you know, obviously the bullpen coming up huge to different degrees. Yarborough getting us to the middle innings there, and then you know, Timmy and Hammy and Devin finishing it off. and just a lot of really quality at bats, and it's a feel-good one right there.
You mentioned the quality at bats. Ben Rice, 4 for 5, first career 4-hit game. Just what were you seeing from him at the plate that allowed him to be so consistent tonight?
Just more raking. You know, he can really hit. I mean, and he's obviously putting together great at bats. There's patience within there, and you know, when he's getting into some leverage counts, he's obviously doing a lot of damage. I mean, he's, you know, smoked 3 of them tonight.
It seemed like it had been a grind at times for Oswaldo Cabrera at the plate. First home run tonight. First home run in this ballpark in a regular season game for a Yankee. Did he look like he was doing anything different in the batter's box?
No, I think he's been fine. You know, even into tonight, I thought his batting practice today was really good. I thought there was life in his barrel, and you know, the first hit he hit, you know, really dropped the head on, smoked that ball through the right side, and then obviously the home run there, and then, you know, I thought got off some other good swings tonight too. So good to see that, certainly.
Does Jazz need to find a way to control his emotions in that scenario?
I mean, I'd like to be the one going there, you know, but, you know, hope it happens every now and then, and, you know, hopefully in the future that's me. You know, I don't love our players going, but, you know, I also understand, you know, how difficult that is to lay off a tough 3-2 pitch there, and so, you know, I understand there's going to be some emotion there.
You look back at Rice last year, had some great games early on and the struggles. You think that little bit of a roller coaster ride might have fueled the offseason work that he did that has played a part in this success?
I don't know if it fueled it. I think he's a really confident hitter and confident in his ability, and has a work ethic to go with it. So I think he was just, whether he, you know, had a ton of success or had some ups and downs, like in a lot of ways it was a really great first act for him. You know, he did some really good things, and even through the struggles, and you guys have dug on this a little bit, you know, it was probably better than what the numbers were saying, you know, because he was still hitting the ball hard. There was no question some punch in there for, you know, that final 80 at bats or whatever. But I mean, you saw a potentially really good hitter, you know, emerging, and you know, it doesn't always happen overnight.
Aaron, what were you seeing from Warren that you felt you had to get him in the second inning rather than working through it?
Well, I wasn't going to let him go to 40 pitches in the inning. I mean, that as much as anything. And, you know, I felt like, you know, kind of the game in the balance there. And if I did let him face Lau, which is a tough matchup going into about to throw 40 pitches for the inning, and then I got Yonda behind him with Yarbrough warming up, I just felt like that was my shot there to with Yarbrough against Lau, knowing we're going to have to piece it together. But that was more about a pitch count thing with a young pitcher, that I wasn't going to let him go throw 40 plus pitches in an inning.
You said before the game you were looking forward to seeing what this environment would be like. What'd you make of it?
I don't like my view from the dugout, my spot. Kind of sucks, actually. But I mean, it was a great environment. I mean, obviously a ton of Yankee fans, so it felt, you know, noisy and exciting, especially when we were coming back and building a little bit. So, you know, I think they've, you know, the Yankees and the Rays have done a great job in getting this ready and creating a really good environment. But I didn't like my seat.
Were there any moments in particular that when it struck you something weird or something unusual, whether in the warm-ups or anything like that?
All of it was really weird, honestly. But then we're in the fire, you know, right away, and it becomes this kind of stressful game of, you know, where a lot of things have to start happening. So you're kind of we're just playing now. Wow. It's a long time ago, but wow, what a throw! You know, I think probably I'm sure they told Meisner before the game, but he got to live it. That's about as good as you'll see right there.
What sucks about your view?
Just tucked in there. It's not great. So I got to move to a place that I'm not usually with my signs too to Louis, you know, it's fine. It's fine. I like the other side better.
Is that also, I mean, it's been training here outside the dugout.
Yeah, I'm like, can we put the screens out and sit behind the screens? Yeah, but you certainly take the W.
We've seen Judge make a lot of great catches, some in center last year, a lot of great throws. He's never won a Gold Glove. Are you surprised maybe that his offense overshadows how great of a defensive player he is?
Yeah, I've never felt like it overshadows. I feel like people always acknowledge how good a all-around player he is and how good a defender. Some of those things, you know, the Gold Glove is just a little bit of a timing thing. There's been years where he hasn't been out there probably enough. There's been years where he's been in center and right, you know, so. But I think industry-wise, people know what a special defender he is, too.
You know, you have a game like this, and you could say it was a great game, but there really was no but there for Aaron Boone. He was talking about a lot of good things.
Yeah, he had a lot to talk about with his lineup. He loved the way guys were grinding out at bats. He was raving about his bullpen, and rightfully so, what they did tonight. And I found it interesting. He said, I was not going to let my young starting pitcher, Will Warren, go more than 40 pitches in that second inning. And my matchup was Lau with Yarbrough. And that, like I said it again, that was the biggest out of the game for me. It just settled things down. But I found it interesting that Aaron Boone talked about how strange it was to go back to Steinbrenner Field as a visiting manager, a visiting team. I didn't think it would be strange. I just thought it would be different. But he admitted it was really strange going back there for tonight's game.
And for every spring game, he's used to being actually on the field behind a screen, as he said, but not the case tonight. Got to take a break. More coming up here on the WB Mason postgame, recapping a 6-3 Yankees win. Aaron Boone on base a couple times. Oswaldo Cabrera goes deep. 11-hit night for the Yanks. Monday on Yes, the worlds of sports and business collide for a new episode of Sportico Sports Business presented by Genius Sports. Don't miss an exclusive interview with Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred. Catch the new episode of Sportico Sports Business presented by Genius Sports Monday after Yankees coverage on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Good to have you back once again. Yanks get the 6-3 win in the opener of 4 against Tampa Bay at George M. Steinbrenner Field. Let's go to that big moment that came in the top of the 7th inning. Jazz Chisholm getting ejected in this one. It was 1 on, 1 out when he came up against Montgomery.
Yeah, Montgomery, a hard-throwing left-hander, gets ahead right away, then misses with a sweeper, then a fastball dotted on the outside corner at 99. Looked like Jazz wasn't real happy with that call. Then another breaking ball that misses down, 2-2. Here's the pitch that Jazz got away with. I thought that was strike 3. Didn't get the call. The next one is definitely down. Home plate umpire John Bacon said it was a strike, and Jazz is not going to be happy with that call.
No, he was not at all. The argument continued to get Aaron Boone out there, and then Boone had to get between them.
Yeah, and we heard Aaron Boone say to the media that he wanted to be the guy to get thrown out. You never want to see a player get thrown out. But at this point, Jazz is probably saying some things that home plate umpire couldn't ignore. And yes, he had a beef with the 3-2 pitch, Bob, but, you know, the 2-2 pitch was borderline, and the call went the other way. So, you know, one of those things that in the bat, when you look back on it, if you're Jazz, you should be thinking, okay, I got away with it on 2-2, and it didn't go my way on 3-2.
Well, let's hear what Jazz had to say about it in our Genesis sounds of the game.
I mean, you know, we're ball players. We're in the heat of moment. We want to win every at bat. We want to win every pitch. So when you work that hard and it doesn't go your way and you really think it's a ball, you get fired up, you know. And I'm very passionate about my game. So.
Do you feel like the ejection was warranted with whatever you ended up saying to John? Do you feel like the ejection was warranted with whatever you did say to John?
Probably after I was ejected, but before, probably not. I didn't think before I had anything that what I said was ejectable, but after, probably.
Was there anything he said that got you going, or was
a little bit. That's probably why I got so fired up of what he said. But, you know, like I said, I'm a competitor. So when I go out there and I feel like I'm right and you're saying something to me that I think doesn't make sense, I'm going to get fired up and be upset. You know what I mean? Like, I'm out here trying to win a game. I'm out here battling the best and working my butt off every at bat. You know, like I'm trying to be the best player I can be. So when I feel like something's messed up, you know, I lost my emotions. I lost my cool. So at the same time, I still got to be able to stay out there and go out there and play defense for my team. You know, that's why I'm here, like to be able to stay out there, hit in the middle of the lineup and play defense. So on me, I got to be better in that aspect for helping my team.
Jess, did he just say that it was a ball, or did he say more than that?
A little bit more than that, but like I said, like whatever he said, I didn't like, and that's what got me into that. So, like I said, it doesn't matter. I was in the heat of the moment. I was upset, and we're just past it now. Tomorrow's another game.
What have you thought of your first few weeks? You hit for power, got a pretty good OPS. The hits haven't come as often as you want, but was it a little of this frustration of just maybe having some bad luck in the first few weeks?
I mean, you could say that, I guess. I mean, I feel like a lot of stuff hasn't been going my way, but that doesn't give me the excuse to go out there and act like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a ball player. I have emotions. I know I've acted like that in the past, but that's what I've really worked on to the present now. I think like before last year, I think I had like 4 ejections a year, and I think last year I didn't even have an ejection. So that's what I've been really working on, you know, like trying to be patient, trying to be cool, and, you know, everybody makes mistakes, but at the same time, like I said, I get emotional. You know what I mean? I get emotional about a game, especially when I think I'm right.
Are you mad at yourself for that, even though you know you were right? Now looking back, are you mad that you acted like that, or?
I'd say I'm mad at both ways. I'm still mad that it was a ball, but I'm definitely mad at myself for losing my cool. You know, like I said, I feel like I've matured over the last couple of years. I feel like my first year in the big leagues, I think I got thrown out of like 6 games. Second year was like 5, and I've been working down every year. So from 0 last year to 1 this year, I kind of, you know, I lost my cool, but at the same time, that's what I got these guys in here for. They got my back, and I could go back out there tomorrow and be all right.
What's your thought of Ben Rice so far?
He's been amazing, man. Ben Rice has been doing his thing. I really like Benjamin.
What about the Judge's throw? Pretty sweet, huh?
Nah, yeah, it was great. I mean, 5-tool player at his best, man. I mean, he's trying to, 4.5. I'm still not going to give him the speed, but 4.5.
4.5 tool?
4.5 tool. But, I mean, he's been doing great, man. Defensively, offensively, he's been doing his thing, and that's why he's the best baseball player in the league.
He steals some bases.
4.5.
He needs to get up like Ohtani, huh?
4.5.
We'll take a quick break, and when we come back on the WB Mason postgame, we're going to hear from Will Warren about his performance tonight. Couldn't get through the second inning. Warren's coming up next.
The Yankees postgame show on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Hyundai dealers. There's never been a better time to test drive that Hyundai you've always wanted. Visit HyundaiUSA.com today.
Good defense, also a hallmark of the Yankees' 6-3 win over the Rays. Let's go back to the bottom of the first. Brandon Lau at the plate, knocks one to right, and Cameron Meisner on first. Know your outfielders, right?
There's a scouting report that says don't run on number 99, and there's a reason why. Able to come up with that strong throw on StatCast 3D. You're going to see that the arm strength was 89.6 for Aaron Judge. The throw distance 186 feet, and you put all of that together with the throw right on the money. Outstanding defensive play by Aaron Judge.
Cabrera didn't even move at third base. Great play there. And then bottom of the third, bases loaded. This was that big spot for Yarbrough, and Jazz Chisholm Jr. right there.
Yeah, makes the play, goes to the bag, and the strong throw over to Goldschmidt to complete the double play. 4-4-3 to get out of a jam.
And then Jazz gets ejected, and ninth inning, great play by Peraza.
Peraza laying out and then coming up with the throw a little bit wide, but an easy play for Goldschmidt. Outstanding defensive play just to get there. You flip it over to the Gold Glover at first base to make the play. You come in for defense, and he makes a nice defensive play.
All right, so Yanks get the 6-3 win. Now, this started with the tone not so good for the Yanks because Will Warren was having all kinds of problems. As we take a look, coming off his first major league win, but he runs into trouble early. And Flash, we noticed a lot of solid contact like this.
Yeah, there's a changeup there that's drilled to right center field, but I think the solid contact you're talking about was in the first inning, Bob. A lot of balls that were hit hard, and now you get to the second inning, and this is a little bit of bad luck right here. A little miscommunication. Goldschmidt thinks he's going to have to go for it. That's going to be an infield hit. This is the at-bat that's probably going to bother him. He was ahead 0-2 on Ben Rohrtvert, and then he was able to work a walk pitching out of the strike zone. This is going to be a sacrifice fly. Dominguez in left field doesn't get behind the ball, doesn't get a whole lot on the throw. But I think at the end of this game for Will Warren, there was hard contact in the first inning. In the second inning, I thought maybe pitching off the plate more, Bob. Then that's a sign of a young pitcher who doesn't trust his stuff in this game. And it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say about his outing tonight.
We'll find out in just a moment. But again, you take a look at his first inning, 15 pitches, did give up a couple hits. So the struggle a bit was there, but then 38 pitches in that second inning, gave up a run, a couple hits, and a couple walks. 53 pitches total. Let's hear from Warren about his night and the work of the bullpen behind him.
Will, what did you think of the job that the bullpen did behind you, really trying to pick you up there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they did a phenomenal job. Yarbs came in, got out of a big jam, and then, you know, just the length out of all those guys. I think Tim went 3 ups and Hammy with 2 innings, and then Dev obviously slamming the door.
Why do you think you didn't quite have it tonight?
Just missing a little off the plate. I think everything was in a good spot. Body felt good. Mentality was good. I think just the execution just wasn't, you know, quite where we wanted it. And obviously, you know, get behind in the count. They don't have to swing the bat. They can, you know, pick what they want to hit. And you look up and bases are loaded. So,
can you describe the grind that was that second inning as you're trying to navigate yourself through it, and the pitch count just keeps increasing?
Yeah, just, you know, we have the plan in place. I was trying to execute, and just those guys just keep fouling off. They're grinding. I think that's what you get in the AL East is all these teams are going to grind you out and try to wear on you. And I was just, you know, attacking. Unfortunately, pitch count got up. And, you know, that's where it ended.
Will, you talked all spring about what you learned from your experiences last year, your 5, 6 starts, whatever it was. What did you learn from tonight?
Yeah, I think it comes down to you don't have to be so fine. I think my pitches and pitch shapes and stuff like that were all good, in a good spot. Obviously, I didn't think they were, you know, taking that good of swings on some stuff, and I think that I try to be too fine, you know, trying to go away with a pitch or something, and I miss out. I think you can, you know, stuff one inside and throw one in the zone, and you don't have to be as fine and let the defense play behind you.
The night Ben Rice had, the start of the season he's had overall.
Yeah, I mean, he's torching the baseball all over the field. It's huge. I mean, anytime you can go out there and, I mean, we can put up 5 runs in any inning at any point, all the way through the lineup. So it's unbelievable.
Judge's throw in the first inning.
Yeah, I was fired up for that. Anytime, you know, the defense makes a big play behind you, especially to hose the guy out at third and, you know, essentially keep a run from scoring, that's a big deal.
Will Warren gets it, and as he was talking, you're sitting there going, yep, yeah, you know, he's going to learn from this one, you can tell.
Yeah, Eric Boland asked him what you were going to learn from this game, and he nailed his answer. You don't have to be so fine. He's got good enough stuff. He's a major league pitcher who has an outstanding sweeper, really good changeup, and a sneaky fastball. But he just was pitching off the edges tonight, and it wasn't a lack of control, because when a young pitcher lacks control, they're all over the place. That was not the case. He was just missing. He was a little too fine, and if he takes anything from this outing, your stuff is good enough. Throw the ball over the plate. You don't have to pitch to the corners and off, because your stuff's good enough to win at this level.
We have to take another break. More coming up here on the WB Mason postgame as we recap the 6-3 Yankees win. Ben Rice, a big night. A career-high 4 hits helping the Yanks get the win.
Show on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com.
Let's check out the Guardians and Orioles tonight. Bottom of the first, Gunnar Henderson launches that one out to left center. Line shot. It's a home run, and it's a 1-0 O's lead. Top of the third, Cleveland equalizes it. Daniel Schneemann, a home run of his own, ties it at 1. And then one batter later, they take the lead.
Austin Hedges is going to go deep. Austin Hedges, otherwise known as Hedgehog, with a home run, and the Guardians lead 2-1.
Now, still up by 1, bottom of the third. 2 on. Ryan O'Hearn takes a fastball up and out. 3-run shot. O's have a 4-2 lead. And then bottom of the 6th, Heston Kjerstad on a changeup, 2-run bomb, makes it 6-2 Baltimore. And that was the final score as they beat Cleveland. Now back to our game and a check of the Yankees box score. 11 hits, the top 4 going 8 for 19. And everybody getting on base, including Ben Rice, 4 out of 5 times. His 4 hits, a career high. And he was asked after the game in the clubhouse about hitting at his spring training home, George M. Steinbrenner Field.
Feels good here. A little weird, you know, being on the visiting side today, but just glad we were able to come out with a win.
Did it feel like early on, did it feel like you guys were lucky to only be down 3-1, or what was the kind of feeling there in the dugout when your pitchers were stranding a bunch of their guys early?
Yeah, I think I don't think we felt that way at all. I think it was just on to the next inning, right? Just next pitch, keep winning pitches. Bullpen did a great job tonight, keeping us in it the whole way. And yeah, just kept putting us in a position to put some runs up.
When he was just talking about the confidence that you have as a hitter, did you lose any of it last year after some early success led to some strikeouts and some balls you hit that weren't falling in? And what got it back? Was it success this spring, or was it getting stronger in the winter?
Yeah, I think there's times where you know, it can waver a little bit, but at the end of the day, you just gotta trust that that you can do it. So just getting back to that mentality. A big part of that was probably just having the experience under my belt and kind of knowing the guys on the team and being in the big league environment before 2 big league camps, having the experience from last year. It goes a long way, and I think that just adds to the confidence.
You said it was weird a little bit earlier. What was the environment like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think the only weird part was just being on the other side of the field. Honestly, the game itself is the same thing, right? You just going out there and playing. Sure, it was a little weird being on the third base side, but at the end of the day, it's just another away game, and we did our thing.
People are always wondering fans are already wondering, how's this going to play out when Stan comes back? When you're away from the ballpark, do people ask you about this? Do you ever think, like, boy, they're not going to take me out, but they got to get this guy in there too? How's it going to work out?
No, I mean, we haven't thought about it at all, honestly. What I do know is that we're a much better team if we have Giancarlo Stanton. So just, you know, we'll figure it out as we go.
We will take one more break, and when we come back, Flash and I look ahead to Game 2 Friday night. Carlos Rodon will take the mound, and we'll talk about that coming up next. We're back to look ahead to Friday and games at George M. Steinbrenner Field are on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. The Yankees will send out Carlos Rodon, Carlos Carrasco, and Max Fried in those 3 games. The pitching matchup Friday is a good one. Drew Rasmussen Flash. It's allowed just 1 earned run over his first 3 starts. And Carlos Rodon, winless his last 3, has given them length, but he's being plagued by that 1 bad inning. Got to find a way to tidy that up.
I look at the 5.48 ERA from Carlos Rodon. He's throwing the ball so much better than those numbers. You look at his last outing against San Francisco, gave up 3 hits. 2 of those were the home runs, and that cost him the game. He's got 23 innings this year, 5 home runs. That's got to change for Carlos Rodon to kind of be that consistent starter that the Yankees are expecting him to be this year. Keep the ball in the ballpark. Your stuff is good this year. You're throwing the ball better than the numbers, but you got to stay away from that one big mistake.
All right, we will see again on Friday night for Game 2 of the series. Yankees win the opener 6-3. After a sweep of the Royals, they continue their winning ways, and we'll try to do it again on Friday with our coverage on Yes and the Gotham Sports app beginning at 6 with a batting practice show, 6:30 pregame, first pitch a little after 7 o'clock. Look forward to seeing you then. Take care.